Hello. Can you hear
We
me?
are live.
Hello. Yeah.
Okay. So, a couple of minutes later than planned, but these things happen with the first go. We already have 15 viewers. Very good. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first ever Greyhound Watch Along.
Evening, gents.
Good evening.
Just give it another few seconds, let a few more people join, and hopefully Matt will appear as well.
Are you in the UK, PL, or are you in Ireland?
No, still in Leicestershire, mate.
Are you going over there? Is there still a plan?
Yeah, but it's taken so long to buy the place, so we're just staying put for the time being and operating from the power of the internet, stuff like that, really.
Yeah. So. Nice one. Someone put a video of it up the other day, Brian, didn't he? It looked really smart, like the track and everything.
Yeah, no, they've done loads of work on there, the lads, to be fair.
Okay, hello to everyone watching. So the format of tonight is we are watching the racing from Romford, having a go at what looks like a pretty tough card. Lucky enough to have some good judges on tonight with me, Paul Lawrence and Borawati.
Good evening.
For those who don't know who you are, do you want to introduce yourself, Paul?
There's two Pauls.
We'll go Watty and Paul.
I've been in Greyhound since I was probably about 18 years old. First went to Romford, actually. That's how I started. And had dogs since probably 1981. Became a kennel hand in about 1984. Then I got an assistant racing manager's job at Rye House. Then in 1990, I was at Crayford racing manager. Lucky enough to get a job there. I was there for 10 years. Then I started with Go Barking Mad broadcasting, commentating there. And then I've worked in Ladbroke Studios and obviously Racing Post TV. But I kind of have been a professional punter probably, or semi-professional if you like, because I do a bit of broadcasting with it. But since probably 2000, 2001. And that's it really. So I do a bit of commentated on the Derby last year. And involved with the Lifford project as well. That's going on in the background at the moment. Working.
Yeah, looking forward to talking about that tonight.
Through the tote, so it's good.
Very good. And yourself, Mr. Watt?
Well, nothing as flashy as PL that way. Degenerate gambler. Owned dogs since I was 16 at Cleveland Park. Had dogs flapping, Hartlepool, Spennymoor, Peelaw, Stanley, and further afield. Also own dogs at Cleveland Park, Romford, Sunderland, Newcastle. Currently in a DSL syndicate, but he's off lame at the minute. Got a couple of dogs now with Gilsa there to Sunderland, and some pups in the field. So that's about it, really.
Very good. We've got our first question of the night in from Warren Bond. What's Watty drinking? It's all we want to know. Good luck, guys.
Pint bottles of Prava, just to keep them out.
Wow.
You don't fuck about it.
Game up.
Wash your pizza down.
Good luck, everyone, from Eddie Goodall. Thank you, Eddie.
Where's the Yorkshireman?
He'll be here. He's built some sort of contraption using iPads and iPhones. It didn't work in practice. So.
He was having trouble getting the volume to work, I think.
Yeah.
I think with dogs in the front room, when it takes one of them to turn around, it'll be on the floor.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you know, Tom, me and Paul bumped into each other when I went back, after I was at Crayford being a race manager, I went back and started punting again at Romford. That's when I kind of really knew Paul. Because Paul and Grant used to punt there. Grant Cotton, who was quite a renowned sort of open race punter there. And we've shared a few beers at the bar at Romford. Yeah. Before you moved back north, didn't you?
Yeah.
Paul?
Before Beth first started, I think, when we first started. Though.
Yeah.
Sat downstairs, about a dozen of us in the whole track.
That's it.
Trying to beat the pooch on the steps at Romford. Yeah.
The old school way of punting.
Good times.
Yeah, were.
One from Stephen Bradshaw, aka Koosh. Looks like a 1980s air traffic control centre. Don't disagree. We're not smoking, but you're halfway there. Right, we've only got a few minutes till 6:43, so let's have a look. What do we think, Watty?
I'm not sure. Four was very impressive at Monmore, but whether it'll clear 3 or not, I'm not 100%. So I would rather. Well, I have took a chance on the red of 4s, and I might have a small double on the 6 because of the draw. It's a big price. It's been running really well at Yarmouth.
Yep. And Paul?
I favoured 4, but I didn't make it quite as sure as it is now. And I did actually, I thought it would actually be a little bit bigger on the Betfair, but it's not. And it kind of shows you the kind of strength of the Wallace kennel and the following at Romford, really. Crystal Charm's probably going to edge off a little bit, but I think Bang on Sonia's going to move off. Bit of a one pacer, really. Tickety Fizz obviously beat Crystal Charm when they met last time out. What was it, Tuesday? Tickety Fizz will move inwards, and Antigua Cuddles will move inwards. But I think probably Tickety Fizz will be a good ally for Antigua Cuddles in that it'll move and give it all the room to kind of move in itself anyway. Didn't think Russian Dancer was quite good enough. And yeah, Portal Flight has got a bit of early, and could be some kind of runner. Yeah, could be some kind of runner.
It goes middle a bit itself, those 6. That's one of the issues. But
yeah,
if I've just opened one does one of its 370s or 373s where it's done, hasn't been running as well lately, but it's one from trap 1. So I thought that the price is worth a small double.
Yeah, yeah. With Crystal Charm, Paul, I think you're relying on a start. Last 2 ups, she's missed it, but she's one of those that when she starts, she shows nice EP. She's never going to kind of be a misbreak early pace, but when she starts, she's actually probably got as good early as Tickety Fizz anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So yeah, a lot of it will be on the start, and the fact that Antigua Cuddles is probably unexposed. You look at it 2 ways. One is, yeah, she can improve, but the negative is she's just had the one trial. But it's a bit like when she went to Monmore, she did a 28.65 and then ended up doing a 28.28. So she improved off the look, and you can imagine obviously a 24.35. It's a decent enough trial. She could do a 24.10, and that'd win this race. So
yeah, definitely, like you said, the potential wise, 4's head the streets ahead of the rest of them.
But I couldn't dream of taking 8 to 11, 4 to 6 on the machine. I couldn't do it. But
No.
I think she's obviously the most likely winner, but not at that price.
Would you say it's a betting race or not?
No, not for me. No. No.
Okay.
And you've played the top, Paul, yeah?
Just smaller, top and the bottom, just
right.
4 to 1 in the bottom was 9.6 on Betfair, so just for interest, really.
Yeah.
I tried doing the videos on this. This was the first race I looked at, so I still had the enthusiasm at that point to go through a bit of the form. The dog in 1 tends to step right out of trap 1. Where I've watched it, and the others need the rails. 3 in particular wants to get to the rails as soon as it possibly can, and Cuddles is a railer as well. So I wonder if there's a bit of chance of trouble going into the first, and maybe Porthall Flyer at a price to swoop round. But that's a lot of ifs. Yeah, only needs 1, 2, 3, or 4 to get away from the rest of them.
Yeah, it's probably one of those races. It's going to be a lot of it's going to be on the break. You know, obviously it's 400 meters. It's a tricky enough race because you're right. 1's going to kind of edge her. I don't think she'll move off violently, and I think 2 will move off and give her room anyway. But it's really what 3 does at the start, and
yeah,
that kind of will be edging in, and I think 4 will be edging in. 5 wants probably 4, but that's just a sort of banger with not a lot of particular early pace. And Portal Flyer, like Borrow what he says, will be edging in, but has been showing nice early at Yarmouth and has actually got a 29.55 getting knocked about at Romford, so can improve off of that and probably might have improved since going back to Yarmouth. So yeah, all in all, it was a bit of a tough one for me. So
we're starting tonight with a £500 bank. Is there a bet here?
I wouldn't put one in this race, is it? With that, no.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think it's probably a watching brief, really, and hope that 1-6 win for Borough Way.
An exciting start for the viewers.
Yeah.
Recommendation:
some people might steam into the Antigua Cuddles on the fact that it's a Wallace dog and she's going to go forward. So and she's won at one more in a decent time.
I've tried doing videos this week, but I've gone bongy hard with that video with the camera angle at Romford. It's hard work, isn't it?
It is not great, is it?
Not the easiest.
At least it's in HD now, though. Port Hall Flyer backed into 6s.
All in.
Yeah, I guess if people are looking at what you said really and what you said, Tom, that it's got probably a decent enough makeup. Two smashed out.
Yeah, it's absolutely smashed out. Is 3 going to take its back legs? Nope, got round.
And the favourites climbed all over the back of the 3.
Yeah.
And that's kind of inexperience, I guess, at Romford.
Yeah.
But
it's well clear.
I didn't really expect Bang on Sonia to bang out like that. Fair play to Nathan. He does so well, doesn't he, with his dog?
Yeah.
Fantastic trainer. Really good young lad.
I think that would have been the last dog I'd have backed in the race, to be honest, just because of its lack of early normally, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and cheating the draw because you can see they've switched over as well on the replay. 2's moved off into probably lane 3. And
look where 4's gone as well. You look at that, you think 4 would want the red, wouldn't you?
I did think 3 and 4 were both going to edge in, but it's how they start, and
that's all it was about the race, wasn't
it? Sometimes as well, like when a dog kind of moves off from 2 into 3, and the 3 dog wanted 2, it kind of even more exaggerates it because then they're going to drop over the back of the eye line and they're going to get the comfort of the inside running around, and that was kind of exaggerated there with Tickety Fears, and then of course she's just then an obstacle for Antigua Cuddles to get past.
Yeah,
Antigua Cuddles has run really well, to be fair, and you're right, Borough, you put her in red next week, you want plenty of them.
Yeah, especially against dogs like that.
Yeah.
Okay, on to watch. A few more comments from the viewers. John Ramsey, what are the naps, boys? Good luck all. Mine is a boring one. Droopy's edition in the last. What's yours, Paul?
Yeah, same.
Lottie?
Just because of the prices, I think I'd go with. I got 3-1 for that Ragtime Storm, so I think that would be it at that price. But how Betfair or Sportsbook went 3-1 Antigua.
Was that a Rick?
Well, it was on there in the lady.
We'll see if you get paid out.
For £6.40, so must have been someone must have bet it.
Yeah. Okay, and Joe Connolly, same question, but any lays?
Yeah, I spoke to you, Paul, earlier on. We texted each other, and I thought Macho Ezra was really underpriced. I made it much bigger than the 5-2. So that was me. And you said, probably on old form, okay, but we're not.
Yeah, it hasn't been running as well at Sunderland as what it was a month ago.
Not been showing any kind of speed at all.
No.
Now, whether Caroline's fetched him there for, obviously she's got double time in the race as well, and I thought double time looked a faster dog than Macho Ezra at Sunderland recently. Now, whether that Macho, like you say, out of form, switch, go back to Sunderland might help. Kenny Lindsay was a master at that. I did have my first ever dog. He ended up with Kenny, and he was just so good. And he always said to me about Intertracks. Loved an Intertrack. Didn't go to the other track to win, but when they came back, it just turned them on.
Well, it used to be Harlow, wasn't it? The place the second, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When it had the really noisy
with the Bramwich, yeah. The noisy hair. But yeah, he'd always do that, Kenny. Loved an Intertrack. And it's, I suppose it's just it's better than taking them in a van load to the schooling track to try and do it. You just go in, the form's all there. He's not doing anything wrong. And you might nick a race as well when you go.
Well, have they brought 5 down tonight? Karen Blackbird has brought 5 down.
She's a fair few, isn't she? Yeah.
You need to if you're making that trip from Sunderland. When I saw there was one, I thought, if that's the only dog she's bringing down, that's a winner. But got a van full there. The
other dog she had was in a tough race. The one I'd done the 1570 the other day. He's a fast dog.
We're not watching Central, but it's on in the background. Nathan Croft thinks the 3 is overpriced at Central here. 5.9 on the exchange.
2.18 in the ring as well.
comment on the last race from Nick Hanshaw. Roger's got the splonk in the book. Get the fave closest to Rouse. Pretty much what you guys said.
I do. I must admit, I suppose really, 4 to 6, and I made a 5 to 4, but I suppose in a way I probably could have laid her, but it's the unknown quantity, because I thought the traps might open, you get a wallop, and that would be it. And then it's a painful watch then. But that's the other thing as well. Obviously, the trial at Romford, then went to Monmore for the couple of runs, and then back to Romford. The switch of boxes might not help. You really hope that next week she goes back to Romford, same boxes.
Yeah. Well, the odds on Pork looks in trouble at Central Park.
Oh, the 3 value one put up by the viewer. Look at it go. 2's looking big danger.
Yeah,
oh,
go on.
Oh, he's held on.
Nice
one of giraffes neck.
What a charge.
Yeah, beautiful. Sure, it wasn't
Nathan Cuff, take a bow. Eddie Goodall, couple of lads I know against Smurf's Machine at short prices. I think there's some dangers in that race.
Yeah, if he doesn't lead, he can't possibly win. I don't think, can he? So, and he's hit and miss, isn't he? So
yeah.
And also, I don't think switching from the 400 to the 575 boxes it does him any favours, even though it's had a trial.
Yeah, that's again, that's the negative, isn't it? The 400 boxes anyway, then going to Toaster and then back to Romford. That probably is a negative. You're right. I mean, he's just, in my eyes, he's just different class.
Oh, he is if he does it right. He only has to level break, doesn't he? And he'd be gone but yeah, two's interesting. Two's interesting in the race a little bit.
Yeah, I made 2 second in, Paul. I thought that 2 had some kind of a squeeze. Yeah, decent trials as well. So yeah,
good one from Ben Green. Babe Station has gone downhill.
Does he want me to take my top off?
Less than anything in the world.
Yeah, that's it's funny, isn't it? Because Eddie just said he's just come on and say there's a few lads laying, and probably I don't tend to lay that much. I don't tend to lay, but Antigua, I think you're right, Paul. When you get dogs that there are negatives to their form in that respect, in that Antigua Cuddles had a good trial, gone back to Monmore. The switch back doesn't always help, and you could probably say the same with Smurf's Machine, couldn't you? Say that.
Problem for me is that
completely different boxes. Whereas when you look at Bandicoot Sammy, he's trialled him from the 225 boxes, the same boxes, which I think is clever.
Yeah, it's the best way of doing it, I think.
I think so, rather than the 400s,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Problem for me, like with Antigua Cuddles, if I'd have laid it, being the greedy bastard I am, I'd have laid it for a place because it'd have been really short. So I'd have done my money in anyhow.
Yeah, that's probably the kind of thing I do. But I think actually was probably, as I say, short enough in the win market to lay. But I did think she would be difficult to beat. But every dog's got its price, and that's as I say, sometimes even with my missus, I do, because I'm probably stronger on my own graded rather than looking at opens. I'll be stronger opinionated on my grade. I'm doing Doncaster at the moment, and when we were doing Nottingham, I had sort of 10 dogs at Nottingham probably literally a year ago, and we go there 3 times a week, and we go to the kennels and that. And I'd say to her, "I fancy this dog," and then it'd be so short, so I've laid it. She, "What, you fancy it?" I said, "Yeah, but it's too short now," because I'm that strong on my prices.
Yeah. We have to stick to your prices, don't you? There's no value. There's no value. You'll end up doing your money, and if you can't get on the earlies when it balls them up, and that.
But I think with open racing sometimes, and again, I don't do. You're right, because of that angle. I mean, listen, Romford was my first love. That was what got me into ground racing. The one, when everyone says, like, when you get the bug, you get the bug. That was my one. My trip from my college tutor said to me in 1980. Come on, let's go at the dogs. He used to go Hall Green. He was a Birmingham lad. Come on, he said, and we all went to Romford Dogs, and that was me, smitten. So I've always loved Romford, and they actually changed. probably, Paul, when we went there, when you were talking about pre-Betfair, that they had the really high camera angle, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then they changed it. I think Pod was a bit, but they changed the racing office or something, or they refurbed the racing office. And he was moaning, apparently this is called Dave Vincent, who does the videos, that he was moaning that the video man that was actually doing the races was watching EastEnders in between. It was distracting Pod. So he got rid of him, and that's why he went down on the steps. And that's where you ended up with the low camera angle at Romford over the other side. And it's even worse going over to the.
That's horrific now.
It's ridiculous, and I must admit, I got a bit when he was first on Ian Smythe, when he was first on Racing Post. I kind of bit and was encapsulated by, oh, he sounds all right. And the second time I thought, nah, not so sure. And obviously you just learn that he's a company man, and
draw the line.
It's sacrilege, because nothing ever really is done. Nothing is done for the good of the punter. And what gets me is this is what Harry keeps saying to me: it's a punting. Greyhound racing is the ideal punting sort of medium.
Yeah,
it's ideal. It's literally 25, 30 seconds, and it's over. 6 dogs. Everyone's got an opinion. Bosh. But they just seem to want to make it harder. They just don't seem to want to enhance the punting experience. They just seem to make it hard work. And I think if you don't take a bet, how can you win? And
well, like if I the last few 365 accounts I've had have lasted 2 or 3 bets, win or lose.
But madness.
I always say, if you're doing it right, you're going to beat the price, but you're not always going to have the winner. Yeah. Or even if you lose because you beat the price, shut you down. So I give up with them.
But that's where that model started. It was probably flawed. Maybe even 10 years ago, where I remember I had a Hills account, and we all used to go to Walthamstow on the Monday afternoon, and then go back to Romford on the Monday evening. And we used to stop at a restaurant on the way there for the old early bird menu. And we all went there. We all took our letters with. We all got the same letter saying, our trading decision and all that. And that kind of started. Hills shut everyone down, and it was just that. And then it was everyone followed suit. There probably wasn't a Bet365 in those days, but
let's have a quick chat about this race. 3 minutes to the off. Price boost from Bresbet on Sweet Pear evens. I must say I fancied Sweet Pear on the form.
I think Sweet Pear's probably the fastest in the race, but it might struggle to clear 5. And 5, there's a wide run in, it could take it off at the first bend. That's why I was with 3, especially at the prices early on when the 3 was 3 to 1. I mean, they're a lot closer together now, aren't they? So,
well, I made 3 favourite in front of 6, so I've gone double here. I bet 3, and I've laid the bottom. So that's me.
Okay. Right.
I actually think maybe Wastehouse Izzy might be a massive price as well to front off. She's probably a bit vulnerable late, but I think you're right, Paul. I think she might just be a little bit of a goalkeeper, because I don't think Swift Pear's that wide either. I think she probably wants lane 4.
The wrong way around, aren't they, really? That's why I was with more with 3.
And I don't think Sweet Pear's a wonder dog by any means. But so I'd be with 3 to front off and try and go clear.
So starting tonight with a £500 bank, what would you be putting on this? What would be the strength of your bet?
If I was allowed it this morning, I would have had a 6 for 2, the 3 dog. But you can't.
Yeah, then it's not. Listen, I make rag times. I make rag times till 6 to 4, so it's still a bet in my eyes.
Well, that's what you have to do, don't you? If you've got your own prices and you make them sort of joint favourites or whatever, you still get the price.
This, Tom.
It's still 2 to 1 on Betfair.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're talking with the firm for a 13 to 8. Is that what you're talking?
Yeah, it's 13 to 8 with the firms and 3.15 on Betfair.
Yeah.
Which again shows how much they rob you.
Yeah.
Well, it is, isn't it? They don't let you on.
It's annoying when it's been, well, it has been 3s, but then that was with one firm. I think most of them went up.
Oh yeah, you can't get nothing on. But I just think, well, why shouldn't I get a few quid on? Because it's not going to go up anywhere near that price.
Now 2 to 1.
Breastbet, I'd bet it at 2 to 1, Tom.
Yeah.
I'd have a 2 for 1, I think. Are we playing or not?
We are. We're 100 on.
We're on. We need a bingo. And hope that 5 don't bolt out in front of us and cut across us.
Oh, the hell, the blues come away.
That's okay. Just got eyes.
Blue inside it.
Oh.
How the hell's the blue led?
Don't know is the answer.
That's 2 trap 2s that were a million to lead have led.
Yeah.
And where it shows where 6 is, like you're saying, that's on the inside now.
Lovely. I need a miracle here, don't I?
Oh, we can't win now. We got the.
No, I mean to get 6B.
Oh, that's gonna get. Hasn't gone past, has it? 3's only beat half a leg as well.
There's me saying I don't lay. I had to lay that one at odds on.
It's you get these nights at Romford, don't you, where you have a lot of short ones, and they're either all going, or you just get a load of rugby results. And so far, looks like it might be that the rugby result way.
Yeah. To be fair though, 2's come out, but 2 wasn't devoid to the bend. To be fair, and I had it down as a bit of a one pacer really, but yeah,
it doesn't normally come away, does it? It can go to the bend, all right, but it doesn't normally misses it, and then
yeah, could have been a different result, I suppose, if we'd have got rid of 2, and then they'd all been sitting in behind 2. And the way that 6's colour run alongside 2, you'd think you'd have a chance, wouldn't you, with Ragtime Storm fronting off?
Well, without a doubt. I mean, it's not been far in the end, Ragtime Storm. Four's done some running as well.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Let's see what we've got on the chat.
Oh yeah, it would stay on 4, wouldn't it? That Blue Mischief wants another lap, doesn't it?
Question from Stephen Bradshaw. Paul, when gambling graded, do you just concentrate on one track?
Yeah, I'm just at the moment. I'm just doing Doncaster. Kind of changed. I think July last year I was doing Nottingham. I had a lot of my dogs at Nottingham, and I just kind of got a bit fed up with it really, and I didn't like what was going on, and moved. So I picked Doncaster really, probably because it's a couple of nights on Racing Post TV and it's on Sunday morning as well. Schedule's probably a bit busy. Saturday afternoon, 14 races, and then you got the Sunday morning. But touch wood, seems to be working at the moment. So
you've only got 4 meetings, haven't you?
That's the beauty of it.
That's a good thing of it, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and there's no, other than the Sunday, there's no silly midweek morning meetings. So
no, that's the problem. I mean, I used to do Henlow, and was when they only had the 2 meetings, it was great because it's such a small pool of dogs, and there was both meetings on RPG TV, so it didn't take you that long to sort the cards out. But if you want to do Henlow now, you'd have to jack and work all together, and all the early kickoffs and everything. 8 o'clock kickoff, what's all that about?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure about that one.
I only watch Toaster when it's the opens are around there, but I'm not a fan of the track with the amount of dogs out front off, and then they're strung out like washing on there behind. And they have too many sprints. It graded, don't I mean? It was 7 sprints wasn't it, on the card?
Yeah, and listen, I don't think there's anything wrong, especially at probably a track like Toaster, in that I don't think there's a problem with having a few sprints, and like Doncaster might have 2/3. But yeah, I think Central Park's quite a bit guilty of that.
Yeah,
when it's top heavy with them, I think you sometimes scratch your head and think why, but I don't think there's anything wrong with sprinting. But
If you don't want 7 on an 11
Yeah,
race
that's the
card,
thing.
do you?
It's a bit of an overkill. Yeah, and I don't know the solution to that. I think it's probably, again, when SIS keep asking for 12 and 14 races, when probably you could get away with
10.
8, 10.
Yeah.
10. I
Except,
think it's
but
enough.
the way they overlap each other in the betting shops as well, not that I go in betting shops anymore, but the way they overlap each other when even if you're looking on your phone and looking at betting every 2 minutes or whatever, if
Yeah,
they've done 10, they'd probably take, I mean, people only have X amount of money anyhow, don't they? So if you do your money in the first couple of
I
races,
agree with you. Totally agree with you.
So if you do 10, they'll still spend the 50 quid if they've got 50 quid to spend, but have a bit more on. And
But
a
that's
bit
the
more
thing.
time to look at the
Well,
form and stuff like that.
It ends up as just like the bingo numbers thing, rather than. Lorraine always said to me, she said when she started, her dad took her to Walthamstow, and they used to race. I think it was Tuesday night and Saturday night and alternate Thursdays. Literally 10 race cards,
Yeah.
And you couldn't wait to go there because you knew the dogs. It's like Hackney was the same, wasn't it? It was purely on the bags. When I was following Hackney, it was on the Victoria Blow. You could only hear it. You had to go to the track to watch it.
Yeah.
And I did do on a Saturday morning. I used to go there with the lads from college and that. But I think now it's just an overkill where it's a numbers game where we don't promote it for the champions that you get within a track particularly. It's just bang, 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 and that's where it's annoying that it goes down that road where the whole of the sport needs looking at. And a lot of people mention it, they talk about it. People like, there'll be 100 people that are into the game like we are, and they all can see it's wrong, and yet you can't get the bookmakers to put enough effort into it to lift it and promote it. It seems as though they just want numbers, and I don't see the longevity of it. I don't see how you think it can last, and there's so many people have just got the zig with it and walked away. And I've gone from 10 to 1 in that because I know that I'm just wasting my time. And why should I do that? As one of many, I'm not just the only one, but I know there's a lot of other people like that and I feel the same way. And yet, and I'd said this a long while ago, trainers will end up owning most of the dogs, and I don't see.
Which can't be right.
I just don't see the. I don't see the end. I don't see it lasting. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't see it lasting. I don't see it as a positive thing. I see it as a demise, and I don't see how that they can't see that. The people that are running it.
Well, even RPG TV, when you have bookmakers reps come on and they talk about anything but dog racing.
Yeah.
Well, look at us. We're going to sponsor a horse meeting for £250,000. Well, I tell you what, why not sponsor a dog meeting for 10 grand?
Yeah.
And have a 10 races, grand a race, something like that. But they've got absolutely no interest in doing it. And they're like friends of Greyhound racing. Yeah, right. Or you're paying about 180 quid a week to get all your sponsorship on the programme. And you put nothing else back into it. I'm not saying about N10 doing ARCA now to a certain extent, but all them other ones are. None of them are putting anything into dog racing.
No.
Yeah, they need to. I remember William Hill, when they sponsored the Derby towards the end, they said that one advert at half-time during a football match made them more money than the entire Greyhound Derby. Don't know whether that's true or not, but if that is the case, then Crisis Sport needs some promoting. Because it's got to work for them commercially. They're not sponsoring the races because they're not getting anything out of it. They're running a business. Well, they get plenty out of the sport. They're not going to get anything out of that specific promotion. So we need to do the sport needs to do more to promote itself.
Yeah, I mean you're right about that, and I think that it's sometimes though, Tom. It's a bit like what can we get for us out of it as much as possible for as little as input. I think everything is bottom line and stream, and that that's big business to a T. But I do feel that they do miss a trick in that they went to, was it £250,000, wasn't it, when Rio Quattro won?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, and Australia are doing it now. They're doing $750,000 Australian dollars to the winner and stuff like that, which is probably 375, 400 grand sterling. But they're getting they have like 10 grand races every other week.
Yeah.
Where and you know, and it's to be fair, they're not long drawn out because they have 8 dog races, and sometimes it's just the winner goes through to the final, and that's accepted out there because of the price, because the prize money is so good. But we don't seem to want to promote champions. We just want to promote numbers, I think.
Yeah, that is a problem.
You know, and the fact that Sky have pulled the plug, then those Sky nights were where you could showcase your better class dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, we love doing that, and that was all part and parcel of what Lorraine's Kennel was all about, was getting a handful of dogs, maybe 10, 12 at the most, and then aiming them for those sort of evenings, you know.
Yeah. Well, I've always said that if you can train 3, 4, 5 dogs, a lot better than someone who has 100 or 200. How can you? You can't afford the staff. You can't possibly put the work in that you do with 4 or 5 dogs. I mean, that lad who was training, that West Country guy who's stuck down in no man's land, who won with Mr. Roo. He's had a couple of dogs have improved really well at Swindon. He's proven that. I think he has 4 dogs or something like that when he's winning a few open races and stuff like that, you know.
And travelling miles. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
That's the thing is, I suppose that you're going to get more enjoyment when you're, and that was the other thing. I know, you know Neil Price, Paul.
Yeah. Well, from Twitter, but
yeah. Well, I've known Neil. There's a funny story about that, but I've known Neil for a while, and he does a lot of the Australian dogs and stuff like that, and he's kind of moved across a little bit from what we did, but he did a podcast the other day in Australia, and he was talking about this and talking about that, and said what's good about the sport over here, what's bad about the sport, and he said that the Australians couldn't believe that the graders here just had your dogs and used them when they wanted, whereas over there they enter them like in like in Ireland, I suppose, the open kennel system where you enter your dogs where you want them to run.
Yeah.
And they couldn't believe it. They just could not believe that you left it to a racing manager to do what he wanted with your dog.
To box your dog up and run it when he likes.
That's it, yeah. Although, you know, from their point of view, it's a little bit different in that, you know, their dogs run from any box and they do run every which way.
But that's fair. I'm not saying it's fair to everyone in a way, isn't it? Because it's potluck, isn't it? It's like an open draw without a. Ireland used to do it, didn't it?
Yeah.
For quite a long time.
Yeah.
So you know what at least you know what you're stinging. But how many times do you pick a card up and go, why is that in trap 2 and not in trap 3? You know they're the wrong way around.
I must admit, you know, if you're going to grade them, and your responsibility is to grade them in the right boxes, then why aren't they in the right boxes? I agree that, and that is my frustration. Where I could pick a card and go, what's he drawing them that way for?
Yeah.
And then they hiss each other, and then the next week they're back where they should be. And you think, well, that's Andy. At least he's seen that. But I see that before he see it, or I don't know whether it was done on purpose or what. I don't know. But the worst of it is when you see dogs that have drawn the right way around, then they put them next week, they're putting the wrong way around. And you think, well, hang on, they got a clear run last week. What are you doing that for?
Yeah, I know.
Coming in from Ben Green, a trainer having 100 runners a week isn't training them. Dogs running every 5 days, they can't train them as they don't have time.
I agree.
Totally agree with that.
Not an unfair.
And again,
assessment.
I don't think that's something that management's paid too much credence to, particularly. It's because it's such a numbers game, and that is only because they're contracted to supply 14 race cards when they haven't got enough dogs.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why you've got the sprints, isn't it?
If that was in Australia, and generally they would have a 12 race card. If they were short of dogs, they'd have a 10 race card. And no one would hoot, no one would moan, because that was the best for the dogs.
Yeah.
And that'd be it. End up. No comebacks, nothing. But here it's like we're always tied in knots with these media rights things. And you can't tell me that they keep having 14 races and these dogs keep spinning around every 3 and 4 days, and you can't tell me it's good. So if it's not good for the sport, why are they doing it? Why doesn't someone say that's wrong? Can't do that.
The big thing, welfare, which you agree with, the dogs have to be looked after race and everything like that. But when you're looking at that and you just dragging dog. And how often do you see a dog and you think, that dog ain't sound?
Yeah.
But 3 or 4 days later, it's running again. And it checks at the first bend again, or eases at the
Tailing,
first bend again. And then runs again 5 or 6 days later. Where's the welfare in that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Matt has managed to join the stream, so I'll bring him on. Hello, Matt.
Can
Can we hear you this time?
Good afternoon, good evening.
You sound like a Dalek.
Do I?
Have you got Inky to sort it out for you?
Can you hear me okay?
No.
Yeah, but
Have a go at rejoining. I'll bring you back on.
let me see if there's
Coming here from Ben Green. Most of the prize money is getting fucked away in run money in opens. Big criticism from the Irish. That over here we give run money to every dog in the race. In Ireland, you have to win the race or finish second or third to pick your money up, and it's rewarding mediocrity, I suppose, and encouraging people to put lower quality dogs in competitions is the argument there tends to be.
Yeah, I mean that's the same in Australia. It's only the 8-dog racing front 3 get paid. So really, it rewards the triers, I suppose, in that respect, or the dogs that are finished at the top. And everyone wants to get there because they want to get paid. So
yeah.
I agree with if they're graded. I think they need it for graded because, like you say, with training having so many dogs now, which isn't right. But I think it's for open racing. It's where you got a $6,000 win pot. That could be a $10,000 win pot, couldn't it? If you decide you're not paying run money or whatever, and then you're not also not getting dogs entered to just open race dogs. People wouldn't do it with the. Might get stronger competitions even if it's only 18 runners or whatever.
Right, let's have a look at this next race. What do we fancy here?
I'm back the red at 9-4, so it's probably a lane now.
You, Paul?
I made 1 and 3, 7-4 joints. So I think Matt bet Greyhound Jet, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
At 3-1. Which...
Yeah, it's on its area. If you just have bar 1 final form, that's probably going to win, isn't it? But it hasn't quite showed that level of form yet, has it?
No, I mean he's run against the likes of Dear Jet Sydney. I know it don't make him win a race like this, but it's not the most difficult race in the world, and I suppose you still got to step out. But class-wise, he's got a massive chance, but it's whether you can do it first time, I guess.
Yeah. Well, Zari Rosie's first run was up against that Sydney dog, and they swapped places on the run-up, and she ended up ducking inside it.
Yeah.
And then going to the third bend, she sort of up the backside of it, and really wanted the rail but couldn't get through by then. He bagged the rail, and I just thought it was, well, especially when the 2 was in, I thought it had an absolutely fantastic draw.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not as good now with just the 2. I thought the 2 would spoil 3.
Yeah.
But got the value, doesn't mean a lot. had the value in the last race, and that went tits up. So here you go.
Exactly.
So looking at this, is there a bet here?
At them prices, I would say no. If you were on the 9-4, the red, and 3-1, there's 3. It'd be quite happy to bet them both at them prices.
You'd be quite happy to get involved. Yeah, it's one of those where that's what I said earlier on. I think if I go and bet 3 now, and one beats me, I'll probably sulk. So I'm probably better off staying out.
Message from Matt Dan, backing the 1 here. A favourite has got to win soon. Not quite sure it works like that, Matt.
Especially on a Friday night at Romford.
Plenty of money for the 1, 8 to 11 now.
The Dalek's back. I'm going to have to exterminate you, Matt. Sorry.
Oh dear.
Jeez, can't believe it's this price now. Like,
the price got a bit of early from Sunderland as well, Paul.
Yeah. But 4 comes away sometimes, doesn't it? Could get in each other's way.
Yeah, very hit and miss, but can bang out. Yeah,
it's 2 from 2, I think, as well. I have a trap 4 mind.
Yeah,
Maybe it's just box.
Yeah.
Let me have a look. My book of knowledge. Can't see a thing with my glasses on.
So we're cheering on Red for Borowati and
Red for Watty, yeah.
3 for
I did
value man,
fancy 3, but it's a patchy starter. It's got good Irish form as well, but it's just so inconsistent. And I think the Romford boxes have become more inconsistent when they changed the traps. Was it 2015? It got hard. The trapping became less consistent.
yeah.
And since it's on the other side, it's even worse. You've got dogs doing 375 one week and 390 the next for
Yeah.
Try I
similar
don't put
similar dogs around them, and kind of what can you do with that?
unless someone sends me something graded. You know, what I mean, you see a dog in an A10 do like 24.90, then do 25.50, do 3.72 and 4.06, and you don't even think what's all that about.
Yeah.
Used to always be within at least half a length or a length of each other, but I know what it's about. It's, you know what I mean, they don't want anyone winning, do they?
Warren's back to the outside 3 on Betfair. Right, and we're off. That's a very level start, 1 and 3.
3's got round clear of it.
Yep.
Catching it.
It shows the fine margins, though. I mean, that, you know, a 0.02 of a second slow, and one probably would have taken its back legs out there.
Yep.
Fine margins in this game.
Smashed out, and that was it, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There's always a chance he would do that. At least
Yeah.
they can improve off the trials, especially when they've had one look at the ram there. And it's Irish form, it would be the dog that you'd bet.
Yeah, and he's actually cut across the nose of the bitch.
It's run the bend really well, hasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, yes.
I think Whiskey will be coming out of this race, getting these prices and all getting turned over.
Social Man was on there. It's just that's just saying oi, but there's a lot of ois on the screen. There's an oi there and another oi.
That'll be from anyone from Ireland.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, after getting 9 to 4 for that 8 to 11 shot, I need another drink.
You never lay a bit back or anything like that?
Not for what you're allowed on now. I didn't bet it. Yeah, I'd have had more on if it would have been 9 to 4.
I understand, yeah.
Yeah, but for what you're allowed on, it's not really worth it, is it?
Yeah, true enough. I'm a bit like that, I must admit.
And I'm like you say, I'm a greedy bastard. So.
Yeah, there's always that.
Another sprint at Central Park. Do you have a bat sprints, Paul?
Yeah, I don't mind sprints. I've touch wood. I've actually been doing all right with the sprints at Donny. So yeah, no, I don't mind a sprint at all. Don't mind a sprint at all because I don't. If it's just reliant on a break where it's a short run to the bend, but I think the long run. I used to like the 305s at Nottingham as well. They're blinding. Because it's a real good. If you know your speed, which is something that I've always sort of grown up with, as I said, Romford and Crayford, and that they're the you're always looking for basically early and mainly leaders. Whereas I obviously went to. It's funny enough because when I was doing Romford, things changed. I kind of got. I might have gone through a bad patch and thought, oh, I'll have a switch. And I tried Nottingham. And this Mel, she does the videos there. Brilliant service. Always arrived on time with DVDs, I think it was. And I couldn't bet a winner. I had about 17 bets and bet one winner. I had to ring her up. I said, Mel, I'm sorry. I said, your service is brilliant. But they always arrive on time. I said, but I can't bet a winner. So I had to wave the white flag and I went back to. I probably might have gone back to betting at Crayford or something like that.
Because you were the race manager at Crayford, weren't you?
I was the race manager at Crayford, and then I left there, went to go barking mad, and then it was beautiful because I used to do the Australian about 7 o'clock in the morning. Got the first train in from Walthamstow or Black Horse Road or something like that on the Victoria line, and then go to Tottenham Court Road. Do that, leave about 1 o'clock, and then I've got the afternoon and the evenings to myself, and I was doing the vids, and then going to Romford and doing that, and that's how I started. And I had a brilliant mentor, Graham Blomfield. He was the odds compiler and the sticker honor for Ladbrokes, and he kind of taught me quite a lot, really. In because I wasn't, being a race manager, you're not really a punter, so to look at videos, make notes, do all the things, do your own tissue, it just taught me the right way, and it's stuck with me, and it's always been successful. But then I say eventually because we moved to Leicestershire, we moved here, Nottingham's local track, started doing Nottingham with a bit of trepidation, I say, but no, I was pretty good at Nottingham in the end, and it was only, as I say, I just didn't like a few things that were happening there, and there was the dogs weren't running to form, and as it happens, I think there was a bit of a thing going on there, so I was probably better out of it. And that's say it's only the last 6 months I've been doing Doncaster, and that touchwood is I've been winning every month. So not fortunes, but I don't need fortunes, and I don't, like Paul said, you can't get on anyway. So
what do you do? I'm guessing you haven't got a 365 account running. I'm guessing you haven't got a Sky Bet account running. Looking at the early prices from here compared to what they're going off at, there's a big gulf. You spot that value early, and it's snaffled up. And by the time we get to 7:30 on a Friday night, things are probably below the price they should be, because the bookies have kind of got their margin in. So how do you do it?
With great difficulty, and that's what I'm saying. And the thing is, I've got a couple of lads that help me get on. And you might ask for 100 quid on something, or 80 quid or something like that. And I might ask for 1.5 one night, but that'd be a very rare bet for me. And they return you 40, 50, 60 quid. And they want to get on themselves, and they can't probably get 100 quid on, so they get 80 quid, they keep the score of themselves, return me 60, and that's what happens. Again, not proud to say it, but that's all you have to have a starting point where you can get the value, because if you're looking at it, as you say, I do my tissue now, and that was the other thing I was going to say to you. When I first started, I was betting Graham told me to bet to 1-2-2, and that's what I was doing. And then now I think, because of probably Betfair, I know a lot of really good people bet to 100. I think I'd find that nigh on impossible. But when I was doing Nottingham, I was betting to 118, 119, something like that. But now I'm doing Doncaster, I'm betting to about 111. Because I think if you go too low, when you see the early prices, then they're all, if you see something that's bigger than you, then you can kind of see a bit of value and probably get a starting point. And sometimes those dogs might drift on the Betfair, and you think, well, either I've got it wrong, or you top up, or what is, again, it's just I think, the early prices, like Paul said, they're a bit of a starting point. You can't get a lot on anyway. And it's all third party stuff. And I think the worst of it is the two lads that get on for me, they're asking someone else. So it's fourth party stuff. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous when you see it. I can't remember the last time, other than, the Betfair Sports book, I can get basically peanuts. And if I had the bet, then I shop the business. So it's really, really difficult. If you play the Russian roulette and you leave it, the nearer the time, the nearer to the off time, the little bit more you can have on. But then the more chance of it you've got of it disappearing. Yeah. So it's a crazy situation that they don't seem to want to play the game. And what they've done is, as I said, we talked about this earlier on, where they close everybody's accounts, or they don't say they're closed, they just say you can't have a bet, not closed, because they don't like the publicity of saying they're closed.
Well, you can always go on the roulette.
But I don't think when they first did that, Tom, I don't think they realised that people would go, your mum's, auntie's, hairdressers. Yeah. Okay, I don't think they've really thought that. So now all they're looking, they're trying to second guess
who's putting on
whose account it is, basically.
Yeah.
So they've got no management. So that's how it's actually gone down a really, really bad road, and there's no turning back.
Yeah.
There kind of needs to be a little bit, probably an amnesty, really.
Yeah.
But like when I said this before, a lot of lads say, "Oh yeah, but they'd still use those third-party accounts." Well, it's basically it's wrong, isn't it? It's wrong, and it is fraudulent. And these days they could perceive it as being fraudulent of having someone else's account. But they've kind of caused it. And the thing is that what I don't see why you can't manage someone at arm's length. As I say, in Australia, they do that. That they have government laws, and it is different states will have different laws for different denominations. But it would say you would be able to win $500, which is probably about 300 quid, 250, 300 quid. Yeah. I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning when they put the prices up for a 6 o'clock race at night. And the nearer it gets to the off time, then the more that they have to lay you. So there's no discrimination between Tom Francis and Paul Lawrence or say Lorraine Sams, but like a recreational punter or something like that. Everyone is treated the same.
Yeah. But some of these firms are the same firms as here, aren't they?
Say again?
Some of these firms are the same firms in Australia as they are here.
Yeah,
but totally different rules, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, sportsbook, I can win. They allow me to win 50 quid. So basically, if I have 6 quid on at 8 to 1, or I can have 50 on at evens.
Right earlier on, exactly the same as what I said.
And there was one the other day at Swindon. How the hell they went? It wasn't sportsbook went the price actually, but it was a dog ran. He fell over first time out and got beat about 6 lengths or something. It was absolutely unnatural. And Sky Bets, and I think it was on sportsbook, opened up 100 to 30, and it won. I was stuck in a dentist chair getting tortured by Naveed up still game, so I missed the price. But it wouldn't have mattered because I'd have only been allowed 15 quid on, and I come out and it was 5 to 4.
Yeah.
So I thought, it's going to go off odds, and I'll have 40 quid in it. So I went on, and the price boost. But you're only allowed 25 on a price boost, aren't you? So I put the 25 on and went 11 to 8. By the time I'd gone back in to have the other 15 quid on, it had been chopped to 11 to 10.
Yeah.
So if 25 quid had changed the price, which is embarrassing, isn't it, really?
It is embarrassing, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Luckily, that one won.
Here, you can make a case for a lot of these.
I can have you find out.
Cheers, mate. The pizza's arrived. Whee!
Yeah, had mine earlier.
Any strong fancies in this race?
No, I wouldn't have minded a bit of 12 to 1 before, dog, like PL said earlier, but I don't think it's not a betting race for me. No, it's too many. The bottom two, 6 is very hit. I think it needs further. The 5 doesn't look good enough.
Is there a tri-cast, a forecast?
I think the 2-dog pings out, grabs the rail, and that'll be it.
I must admit,
statement of intent from that.
I do make 2 favourite. I must admit, not quite this short, but I did make 2 favourite. I made double time second in, so I'll probably have to have a little bet at 7 on the machine. I did mark off 11 to 2 with our Bresbet firm as a reasonable price. So again, as I said earlier on, I don't see why Macho Ezra is quite short looking at the recent form at
Sunderland.
At Sunderland, yeah.
Yeah, Paul Burt seems to get his fair share of winners around Romford.
Does.
Oh yeah, he does. He's got an uncanny knack of finding the right dogs for Romford. When you look, when you think he's a Yarmouth dog, it's quite a quirky track as it is, but he seems to find to understand the horses for courses, if you like. He's very good at that, and a really nice bloke. Him and Penny, really like Paul and Penny. Really, really nice couple, and try hard. Really try hard.
I'm going to have a score on the 4, just for a bit of interest.
What, with the bank, yeah?
With the bank.
Good man.
The only way is up.
That's it. We need to claw a bit back, don't we?
We do.
I've got the whiskey out, so surely I'm going to win it now.
What time did the drain dog do? Does anybody know?
Quick look, see if it's up. Well, that's another thing, isn't it? How long does it take to get a clock fixed? How long does the clock not work at Romford? You know what I mean? The clockmaker in Pinocchio would have had it all done by now. Fucking hell, it's ridiculous. 23.99.
Well, that's coming
Wow,
on.
that is rapid.
Well, I did say earlier in here, like you would hope that they'd held a little bit back, but they obviously had, which anyone should do with you. Bang on Sonia done 24.08 though, so the track's obviously quick.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But saying that chili habanero only done 35.83, so it's a bit weird.
Social Man, Dry and Jet, Tin Reach Jet, Closed Form Book and Back Darragh Jet. It's a system, why not? Harry, 5 for me here at Romford, massive price. And getting bigger.
It is a massive price. That's about all I can say, really.
Is it in the back of your mind saying for a reason?
No, I make it that price actually. So
Yeah.
I've played 4, and I've just covered 2 and 3 on the level. So I'm hoping my eyes didn't deceive me. What I saw at Sunderland with double time.
Yeah. I think it's run here before, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has, yeah.
Got
Yeah,
back
I
run
remember.
by a sort of
Crystal
24,
Charm, yeah.
20
Yeah.
dog.
When Crystal
But-
Charm smashed out.
Top of the ground, yeah.
Yeah, Darragh Jet looks a clockwork breaker at Central Park as well, so might have some kind of a squeeze if banging out. Again, breathable enough trial.
Yeah, so I said a good sprint time to Central Park. It was a bit of a moderate trial here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, as you can see by the last one, the look round definitely helps, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's just getting used to them flat boxes, I think.
The number of variables is incredible, isn't it? In open racing.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is the switching of when you're punting graded and they're just running from the same boxes and pretty similar traps, and you'd hope they're drawn right. Whereas open racing, it's a little bit, can be open to a little bit of more anomalies, I guess.
It's a thing that gets me in some of the open races where you'll have a dog where it runs at the track and it run out of 4 and 5 every week, and they'll allow it to run out of trap 1 in an open. It'll change it real. And then you think, you know what I mean? You've seen where it runs every week. Why are you letting it be a realer?
Yeah.
Right, we're off.
Who's out? Good.
Go on.
Good. Get round.
Just turn left, just turn left, just turn left.
Go on then.
I think he's going to get back run.
Go on.
Go on then. Stays at Sunderland, 450. Can't get picked up over 400. Surely.
Go on.
Go on. Kick on.
Go on.
This will
you
not
fucker, the
be
sixes over the top.
beaten.
Go on.
Keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. Oh,
very,
that
very
is close.
Got knotted on the line.
Do you
Do you
think?
think so? The angles.
Don't say that.
The angle normally favours the inside dog, doesn't it?
It's close.
It is weird though. The dog, like I say, it's not the strongest as Sunderland over 450, but it gets to 450 and runs decent times. So be getting what the hell back run it? That's that pub, is it? That was about 20 to 1 as well, wasn't it?
I'm going to get a drink. I need it after that.
An 8 some better fair.
Oh yeah, it's one I said just thought we needed further at Yarmouth. It's owned by your pal, isn't it? Or is it just in their name?
I don't know. Mrs. H. Keithley, yeah.
That was it. Wouldn't have expected that to be going on behind it. Oof. I tell you, that is very close. We don't know where the line is, do you, or anything? That's a problem.
No.
Take 46, the 6.
Oh, don't.
Have we discussed the Romford camera angle yet?
Well, it was mentioned, but not as badly as it should have been.
We've not gone in depth yet.
I mean, it's a fairly basic requirement, isn't it, really?
Yeah. For all the arguments where it can't be in the judges' box or whatever, that's one thing I just thought. That judges' box, you've seen photos of it, is ginormous. I cannot see any reason at all why they can't put it in the judges' box. And the stuff about cabling or something like that, it's like, who's doing the cabling and the same bloke who's fixing the clock? You know what I mean? What is that all about?
Yeah, there's got to be some will to want to do it, and there clearly isn't.
They don't want you seeing the racing, do they? But it has to cost them money because you couldn't do Romford you couldn't do Romford like you do PL, like you do Doncaster, could you, off that camera angle?
No, I just wouldn't entertain it, Paul. Honestly,
Because you don't know what's going on in the run-up, do you? They even sort of straighten the camera up before the dogs get the bend and then spin to it, so you don't know what's happened on the run-up or anything, you know. And then they turn the second bend and there's two on the floor, and
yeah, it's just not. It doesn't help. It just doesn't help, and I don't. It's just another obstacle for people to get the zig with, and it's, as I say, they're not encouraging people to get involved in the gambling sport, and that's what it is—a gambling sport. They're just making it hard, you know. And you think Ian Smythe would say, "Oh yeah, SIS did. What's it got to do with SIS?
yeah, exactly.
Track.
It's a brand new building, everything, and you're telling me you couldn't get a better camera angle than that?
It's just cobblers. It's just
See,
bullshit.
This is where the GBGB need to do the job a little bit. They could be stepping in quite easily and saying, "Look, this needs sorting out.
Yeah,
do it." But
Yeah,
they're not going to be able to do it either because of those sat on the board.
yeah, but they'll say they're not there to promote the sport. They're there to police it. But you know, this is what I'm saying about things in Australia. If they say it's wrong,
1-4-4-1, hey, hey,
hey!
Beautiful.
I'm some photo judge. I am.
We're back. We're back.
Tell Tom.
Is that?
Well done,
Are we in
Tom.
£10 profit?
That's it. We're plus 10 now.
Oof.
Tom, you
Big.
didn't have enough fun, right?
You know what?
Spineless, even with not real money.
That is the problem. That is the problem.
I'm
And
the same.
my staking is the absolute worst part of my gambling. I'm so bad at staking, and the bigger the price is, the more scared I get.
But I have to say, having said that, and this is something that Finley taught me as well, is that you have to have the score on for the brain damage, because if we'd have not had a bet there and watched that, it's got beat, and it actually won. You think, oh shit, why did we have a score on that? We had a score on it, and that's that.
Yeah.
He taught me that, I must admit, and it's all those little things. He always said you have the little bet just to avoid the brain damage. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you've had 40 or 60. You've actually shown a profit, and we're not behind anymore. And that again, that's a Finley mechanism. It's a positive. Let's now go forward. You know.
Let's kick on. Right, I'm feeling bullish, and I've got an aggressive move in the next race.
By the way, I didn't see what happened to Red there, Paul. What happened?
I've muted him because he's clattering.
Mucho macho. Didn't see what happened to it.
No.
But I did query that being 5-2 on the earliest, but I made it much bigger. Right.
Should we talk about 756?
Yeah. Again, valid point, and when you look, we have discussed it a little bit. We scratched over it in that we sort of made that anomaly or the comparison with Mark Wallace's Antigua Cuddles, that had the trial at Romford, went to a different venue, and has now come back. Not masses of experience at Romford Smurfs machine, but probably a bit more experience than Mark's bitch was in the first race that we covered. So I think class-wise, I made Smurfs machine 4-7 and I know he was 8-11, and I think actually he was 5-4. He was 5-4 against with Paddy Power, and they went 5-6, and then kept cutting him because that was completely the wrong price. But then again, you can take that where he's probably beatable if he doesn't lead, because he's probably got to lead or be in front by the third bend to just make sure he stays to 5.75.
A 376 sectional, you've got to think that's every chance. That leads the majority of races here.
Yeah, I mean,
that sort of pace over that number of bends.
And he's been trapping. He was trapping fairly well, wasn't he, at Hove as well? And he's another one. When he traps, he shows nice early.
Yeah.
I
like this Sandling Prince. I like those 2 runs at Shelbourne Park.
Yeah.
In particular.
That was my.
And a 1354 sectional is no slouch.
No, and the fact that Daniel's kind of giving him the 2 looks as well, then obviously he's plotted that he wants to. It's not like it's an afterthought or anything like that. He wants to go for the 5.75. He thinks he's going to be suited to the 5.75, giving him 2 looks, and 13.54, 13.59, two decent sectionals. So if Smurfs Machine fluffs his lines, then Sandling Prince is going to be putting pressure on.
Yeah. The 4 is an interesting one. Let's pull the form up.
Yeah, come out of A3s, I suppose. Better suited to slow away, and started to probably break a bit better recently.
Yeah.
But got a few slow aways in 400 opens, and then the A3s. I don't know.
And this one as well, the 3. That I can't show it because I'm not allowed to. But that race at Toaster was like Skirlow Champ. It was unbelievable. Off the 3rd bend, it was probably 30 lengths behind. And coming in off the 4th bend, it was still 10 lengths behind, and absolutely rocketed up. So an interesting dog, I think, in a race like this. Yeah.
Again, the time-wise comparable to Sandling Prince, but probably might be doing it the hard way. But I guess if you get to the fact where Sandling Prince and Smurfs Machine cut each other's throats, then it could bring in a stayer late. But...
Yeah. So it's whether Smurf gets away. Is
I
that
think
what we're
so.
saying?
Yeah, I think you're going to want Smurfs Machine, if not right on the front, you want to at least turn second and try and get past Sandling Prince at some stage in the race, but need to be doing that earlier rather than later. Newtown Frida, I thought, had a little bit of early as well in Grady company. Might be going the right way, but whether she's quite the class. But Davy's dogs are running well, and she is going forward. So she might be interesting from an early pace point of view. Obviously when you're looking at you need Smurfs Machine to lead to win. 1 and 2 have got more experience than Smurfs Machine at Romford.
Yeah, I thought the Frida dog was quite an interesting runner in this race, particularly if either the 2 or the 5 missed the break.
Yeah,
it could go around a little bit handier than you'd expect. Double figure odds, maybe worth a look.
And do you ever play? Would you play forecast, or would you bet Farley's Chloe and then have forecast back to beat him, knowing that maybe 1, 2, and 5 have probably got the lead to win?
Yeah, I think that's the choice. I think you'd be looking to exclude one of the 2 early pacers and for it to be second to them. But like you said, it seems to be moving forward, and it is one thing, it's going to stay the trip well. So yeah.
With outside of 5, 4 lakhs early, 3 lakhs early, I put 2 promising trials, and the red's running really well, but possibly needs to improve. But 6 from 22 to trap 1, so obviously it doesn't mind being a trap 1.
Is Smurfs a lay? Given there's a lot in the race that we think could spoil it for him.
If I was laying it, I'd do my normal thing, mate. I'd be laying it. I wouldn't be laying it. Is it odds on?
Yes.
I'd be laying it for a place, because I think it'll rather win or do it all wrong. And if it doesn't lead, it might not stay the distance. So I'd just be, all of us 1.36, I suppose you could lay it. He is different class, though, isn't he? To be fair,
He is, yeah.
you know what I mean. So,
And I don't know about you, but I always think that
It's 4 to 5
Shame-
now. Has been boosted.
shame
Now I'm
the dog-
thinking of backing him.
Seamus's dogs just seem to go bang, don't they?
Yeah.
Like, he's got a knack of getting them out. To be fair,
10 to 11.
Yeah.
he
He's
doesn't
getting into
toss it.
backing territory now, isn't he?
I made him 4 to 7, so it'd be a bet.
Should we have a bit on?
He would be a bet for me.
He would.
I would. Yeah.
How much? What's the strength? 50?
Well, I'd have the 110 to win. What is it? Is he 10 to 11?
Yeah.
1.94.
I'd have the 110 to win 100. I would.
Yeah.
Oh, been referred. Sort it out, Rosebet. There we go. We're on. They're good
All right.
lads, these.
Nice one.
Rosebet are not sponsoring us. I just can get on with them. There's not many others I can say that for. And I am a horrendous mug punter as well. So I don't deserve to have my accounts closed. I had a little when I
do apologise, Tom.
you didn't help, Watty. When I started my company, the first few months I didn't have very much work, so I just started a company, and I spent all day watching racing, all day, every day, and just could see a few dogs that were obviously overpriced, and just had a few lumpy bets, and that was gone. My Sky Bet account, I've only myself to blame for.
Right.
There was a dog that should have been evens. It got put up at 10 to 1.
Bloody hell.
So I think I had £100 on it. I think that was all I was able to get on. I had £100 on it at 10 to 1. Then I got an email from Sky Bet saying, look, we've put this up at the wrong price, but we're going to honour it for you. So you're still on at 10 to 1. Thought, fair enough. Then a dog got withdrawn and it went off at 1 to 3, 1. And then I got an account saying, you've been restricted.
That's nice, yeah. When I got the wrong price with Sky Bet, they basically said that messaged me, and I said, right, fair enough, it was the wrong price. I'll let you off. And then they done it again, and I took the price, and they come back and said, we've done it again, we've put the wrong price up. And I said, oh, fair enough, I'll let you off. Then I backed a decent winner with them, and you shut me down. Thanks very much.
Incredible.
Well, we had the old three. I had a 365 account, and we backed to
Just someone
Track a few months ago, and for some reason they made the 3-dog 4 to 9. There'd been some withdrawals and some vacant traps. I backed the 6 at 12s. The email came through after race 3 to say you're on at 3s, not 12s.
What?
Yeah, seriously. It was 3-way dead.
Are you sure that wasn't with Jeff Banks?
It was a Jeff style thing to do, but no. Anyway, that's it. They stood firm on it. So, and the accounts rest in peace now, sadly.
We had a few of them, to be fair.
1 or 2.
Who wasn't this a girl?
Ramsey. Tom, you filthy arbor, betting out at 10 to 11 was only 1.87 on machine. Thank you, John.
It was 1.91
Get
at
the
the
value.
time. Actually, I backed it as well.
One from Eddie
Get the
Goodall.
yeah,
If you
get
get
the value.
Smurfs led, place Lady very cheap. You can take nice few quid, not pay very much. Pretty much what you said, Dottie.
Yeah.
I mean, 8.15 on the track, still, 184.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Eddie Goodall. Bigger the price, Tom, the more you have on. Works for me. Yeah. Long term, I think you're all right.
Definitely. It's just trying to get on at that big price.
Few from when you were crashing about, Watty. Borrowatty knocking down a wall. Fucking noise.
I was making a winning cocktail. I've even got my cocktail hat. Look.
What's
Having a
Watty
winner.
doing break dancing? And then opening up the crate with his bare hands by the sounds.
It's a celebration. We're having a winner, man.
Oh dear.
We're on a vodka drink and a whiskey drink now. Oi, oi!
Side to drink.
Prava drink. A vodka drink, a whiskey drink, and a Prava drink.
Great selection, boys, from the last race. Same from Cole Murphy. Thank you, lads.
odds against.
Oh my
What's
god.
against?
Against.
Smurfs
Seven
back
of them.
out.
Yeah.
8 to 15 on track, 10 to 11 Bresbet. Evens.
Evens. It's evens on the machine.
It doesn't really
Evens
mirror. I mean,
Bresbet.
why is it still 8 to 15 on the show? It's just crazy, isn't it? It's just,
Oh,
Yeah.
they've got 4 to 7.
4 to 7.
Yeah.
Because someone's had 200 quid.
You see it all the time, though, don't you? And you go down, and I think New Romford is 20 odd, and that's 11.
I've collapsed the price on track by having 50 quid on a dog on a quiet night before, and everyone in the whole country suffers that if they're on at SP.
Yeah, but that is true as well. The way to do it, though, if you have a dog in a race, isn't it, is when you know you can only allow so much on and you can affect the market so easily for a pony or whatever,
Yeah.
if you've got a runner and you just hope no one else is going to bet it, you just bet something else in the race, don't you? And try and make the market.
Yeah.
It's the only way you can do it.
I mean,
And then
the
hopefully,
money
and
with-
Mahon. What about that
and
one?
then hopefully then that dog shortens up and people think it's a gamble and your dog stays the price you want it to be. And like PL said it later on, you can get a bit more on, can't you? And,
11 to 10 with Bresbet now, Smurfs. I mean, if you're a backer of it, that's huge.
Yeah, enormous.
And the one dog as well. I mean, the one dog's 18s.
1 point. Look at the price of Betfair.
it was 20 a second ago, wasn't it? Yeah.
It's 2 to 1 on, and they're going 11. Fair play, Bresbet. We're
It's
not
2.18.
sponsored by Bresbet. I'd like
No,
to be sponsored by Bresbet. We're not sponsored by Bresbet.
It's 2.18 on Betfair though.
Oh yeah, that's place.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying, Paul, earlier on where you were getting your cocktails together, that it's Smurfs machine's pretty similar, isn't it, to the style of the way that the Antigua bitch in the bitches race, where she'd had the trial, gone somewhere else, but then come back to Romford. And you'd kind of say, well, hang on, is Smurfs machine a real Romford dog? Well, we don't really know, do we? That's the thing.
This is a test run for the Coronation Cup, isn't it? Is it the Coronation Cup next week, or I don't know? It's one of them, isn't it?
And he's one of those dogs. I always think he's better off when he's dominating.
His legs have fell off. Yeah. His legs have fell off now. Look, 4 to 5.
He's better off. He's better off dominating racing.
Oh, I think you need to have a 5.75 as well.
Yeah.
Sandling Prince is going to win this, and it's going to upset me for the rest of the night.
Money for it, 3 to 1 now. Interesting to bet the bottom as well. The other Hove dog, 18 to 9 to 2.
Yeah, I made that a massive price as it happens.
Well, I couldn't see anything.
There just seems to be an uneasiness about Smurfs here. I don't know if they've just opened it up way too short.
Like you said, I'd have thought if you'd have gone there, you'd have waited till the week before and went and give it a sprint trial, not a 400 trial. So you'd have the same boxes at least.
Yeah.
And then, take it back there, that not do it the other way around, sort of thing. You know what I mean? And then, it's like you said,
Farney's Chloe, Farney's 9 to 1 Chloe, because that's its price. They put up at 12 to 1. Really drawing your attention there.
I've had peanuts on the one here at a massive price.
Yeah,
in case it goes smash.
The bottom's mega strong, isn't it? 7 to 2 now, and it's only 5.2 on the machine.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It is running really well at Hove, to be fair, but I just can't see how it can clear 5.
Can we have a PL commentary here?
Oh, geez, go on then. From racing. Red's the first to show from 2 Smurfs on the outside. It's got a swoop here.
Go on, 2.
Smurfs and Sanding Prince head to head off the second turn. Sanding Prince up on the inside now. Shot. Smurfs machine. Then the outside making ground now. Diggers Bandit. There was money for this one. They've gone clear then of Newtown Frida. At the back of the pack, we've got Farley's Chloe and Lulu. You go, but it's still 2 with the lead.
Here he comes.
Here comes Smurf Machines trying to close now, looking for a way past.
Come on,
2 strikers to paddle. Smurfs up the inside, 3 on the outside. Farley's Chloe has got there. The stayer in the shadows to win it. Value man Matt, take a bow.
Good commentary, PL.
Would that be your? How's that? Not 1 to 2 when it's gone that far clear.
Don't know.
Non-stayer. Maybe.
We'll have to do a sad update of the banner now.
It stayed okay at Shelbourne.
Have the 2 and the 5 softened each other up a little bit? Although that said, it's had a clear lead, really.
Yeah, he went about 3 clear for the non-steer.
To be fair, he burnt Smurfs off, didn't he? That was a bit mediocre from Smurfs. I don't think you make too many excuses for him.
Yeah.
Probably
I mean,
just not
if you're saying 2's a non-steer, it hasn't stayed 500. And like you said, trying over further at Shelbourne, on it.
I think the one dog's moving forward, as we said beforehand. And it's not divide of early pace, is it?
Did the play Slay come in on Smurfs then? Because they're all in a bunch for a second, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. That's what a burst of. And I think 5 got up for second, didn't it? That's what a burst of 3. Absolute burster. That's good shout for you, Tom, wasn't it?
Just had a reminder on text that we did discuss laying for a place there. Didn't do it.
Yeah. I think it's got second though.
Did
No,
it?
it's not. Third.
Yeah.
Was it?
No, that's not the race. I think it got second, mate.
Race. Yeah. I thought.
I think it was 3.
The commentator
5-2.
Second.
I was too busy. I was too busy roaring 2-1. Clueless fucker.
Yeah, got second. Yeah.
Kevin Boone again with a big price winner. You have to watch him do it
Cool. No.
closely. I mean, he wouldn't have a great deal. How many dogs would Kevin have? Probably 3 or 4.
He might have room for about 10 or 12. I would have thought, but
yeah,
he doesn't have a lot.
He seems to place them well because the amount of big price winners he gets.
He does. Yeah.
Anyway, on to the next.
On to the next, indeed. Just realised on the chat, any of you can see the chat, by the way, you just have to click the chat button at the bottom. Social Man is the Indian Raider. So there used to be a thing back in about 2013, 2014 called
when he's getting chased by the elephant.
The Romford FA Cup. And it was, I mean, Twitter was a wild place back then. No one got banned. Unlicensed bookmaking was rife. And we used to have this competition that got quite lively. And this guy called, I think, VJ Good Bad, something like that, turned up and started taking part in it. And he was from India. He bet in rupees on the Bet365 site when he was putting them up. You entered, and then you had to put your selection in by a certain amount of time, and he hadn't put a selection in, so we were wondering where he was. Anyway, he turns up a week later, and he'd been chased into a forest by an elephant and gone to ground for a week. So he turns up back again, and we go bollocks. Takes a fight of him being chased by an elephant. One of the best things I've ever seen. And immediately was asking if anyone had a price on a dog at Kinsley the next day. So fair play to him.
Yes, he was. So is it? It's not. He's not a real person then.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Well, he's not Indian though. Getting chased by elephants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. That's fair enough then.
Every day's a school day, Watty. Warren says that John is bringing the Romford FA Cup back. That will feature heavily on here if it does.
Yeah, without a doubt, it was always good. I won it a couple of times. I think it's probably the last time I had a winner at Romford.
The Raiders here. Hey, thanks for the shout out.
Once again, I'll take my headphones off and go on for a pee.
I'll pause you. At least he's taking his headphones off for it. 1:31 a.m. in Delhi. Fair play, Raider. Fair play. Oh, a sad story from him. I closed my 365 so stop following dogs. And you know what? This is genuinely a problem. People aren't being engaged with the sport because they can't get a bet on. They're getting really into it. They're following it. They're starting to do all right and they're betting, and then they can't get a bet on and they're drifting away from it. And that's exactly what's happened to me, to be honest. The last couple of years, I've not been that interested. Bought a dog in Ireland for a bit of interest. Decided we wouldn't have any more dogs in the UK. Dog didn't stay, and there's no sprints in Ireland, so we brought it over to Romford. Corten Steel, who's pretty good. Well, it looks pretty good, and it's got me back into it. It's got the buzz back, and I think you either need to be betting on the dogs or owning the dogs to really have the interest in this game.
My pal thought that Ashfield Raider could lead all the way here at Central Park, by the way, in the 803, and it's 6.4 on Betfair.
We need to get involved.
It's a bit weak in the market, but he thought he'd lead all the way. I think it's gone from sprinting to 4 bends, but it might be a bit vulnerable late. But
The 4 dog.
yeah, I think Clark has napped the 3 dog as well in the race. Spot on Cody.
I've had a fun tenner at 5-1.
That's it. Keep it real, Tom. Keep it real.
Just keep it interesting.
I think we've got a lead to win. So. Not a good start. Got plenty.
Oh, nice pacing to the bend.
Got plenty.
Oh.
Not too far. Wow.
Again, why have I only had a tenner on? Because I've not looked at the race.
Yeah, one yet.
It's fucking not one yet.
Only 10
20
clear.
lengths clear.
Clark is Nap's going to be second.
Oh my goodness.
I don't fuck
Matt,
about giving you winners. I give you the
let's
cards.
just fuck Romford off.
Piece of piss. 4 beat 3. Should have been all in.
The deficit has been eaten into. We are now minus 50.
Is that all? I thought it was minus 100.
Was, but I've clawed 50 back with that.
Oh, you had that on?
Yeah.
Oh, different class you are. Different class. I should have opened my gob a bit sooner, really, shouldn't I? That was my man, by the way. That was
Good
my
tip,
man.
that. My man. Gordon Sutherland, oi PL.
Joe Keneally, that wasn't Key Oldham who put his big black nose in the picture.
You basically run a Greyhound rehoming centre, except you don't rehome them, they just all live in your house, don't you, Matt?
Yeah, why not?
How many have you got?
Well, not so many now. Unfortunately, we're down to 4, but we had 9 at one point. But
Bloody hell.
Sadly, through old age, they've died one by one. But yeah, a few legends here still. We've got Oldham Zidane, Triple Cat 1 finalist. We've got Inky Oldham, who we all know about. And a very early pace dog we had called Our Bosco, who's coming up 8 years old now. And then we've another lad who we bred actually, who's coming up 12, I think. So yeah, we've got a depleted squad at the minute.
Oi Inky from Kenny Mackay. Very good. It's on a Tattyfield pool. It has. Very, very good tip.
It didn't trap as well. How far would it have won if it had come away?
Yeah. Cole Murphy, only bet for me tonight, Rail McCoy Romford. I do like the look of that, Con.
Take it on trust is 100% right. I don't think he's got a great draw either, particularly. I think he wants to go across himself. Four's banging out, and 6 is showing good speed at Mark's other dog at Henlow. So I thought it was a tricky enough race. That I like Rail McCoy as a dog, but I'm not sure his makeup's brilliant.
Yeah. Stephen Bradshaw, one for the next one. Greenside Sydney in the next, a big price, never been a railer, once 3, been knocked about on inside in the last, hopefully trap and gone. Fast track would take some pulling back in what ain't a great race. What do you think of that? It's on the drift, 6-1.
I favoured Red here. I thought Red had a chance. Obviously, Pocket Elves has got to have some kind of a squeeze. But,
I quite liked Pocket Elvis. Consistent early pace. Just doesn't stay those longer distances it's been running.
No, normally a good breaker as well at Hove, isn't he? And
yeah,
trial was good enough. Yeah.
Unoriginal, but like the one here. I just think he'll boss the inside and be gone, really.
Yeah, I think he's about his price. Probably Pocket Elvis is a bit bigger than I made him, so they were the two runners for me, really. But I couldn't really see too far past them. But
yeah, the Pocket Elvis dog, I think, is that 4-1 early doors with Bresbet. So there's been a fair bit of money for that, by the looks of it.
Third stellar of the evening. Showing off. So is there a bet here?
For me, it'd be a watching brief. Just don't think there's a great deal of value in the one, even though it's the likely winner.
I must admit that's what I make him, Tom. I made Red 6-4, and I made Pocket Elvis 11-4. So probably they're about their right price.
Yeah, they are.
It's whether you want to have a bet or don't have a bet, I suppose. Really, I suppose you need to have a bet to get a profit. So it's up to the consensus, really.
Is it a no bet race? Is there a lay? Is there a tri-cast? Is there a forecast?
I'll tell you what, I wish you'd had the forecast in that previous one where Matt was saying about the staying dog and loads of front runners. Jesus, that'd have been some little tickle where we'd had a bet and had the forecast. So, I mean, that's a massive way of playing, right? Especially at places like Romford, where a lot of dogs have got a lead to win. Same at Crayford.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when
Yeah, I do.
The dogs have got. They can't all lead. They can't all lead.
Yeah, I always do. I often do just for a few quid. Do frame up bets and then have a small bet on it to win if it's a big price, and do the field back. And I've had a few at Crayford 100-1 forecast when the right one goes in.
Yeah.
I mean, if the favourite wins, you're not winning anything, but you take that chance, don't you?
Exactly.
But that can happen at a lot of tracks where if you can get the right dog winning, you get a really good forecast.
Yeah,
it's a good way of playing, especially when there's a lot of front runners. Because once the front runners are led, they sort of chuck it in a bit, don't they?
Yeah. To be fair, when you look at like you said, you was disappointed with the Sounding Prince dog. He's actually run a right Smurfs machine, and he's to come up the pipes and kind of get something really. But when you think he was probably, I know he's class anyway, and that's probably seen him through. But yeah, Finest Chloe. I think even Tom was mentioning he come from a mile back.
You wouldn't have thought it was far enough for it, though, would you?
Toaster, so.
But it's fell in its hands, hasn't it? The way the race.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, and he actually was.
Yeah,
I think I looked
that
just.
Race. It's that
he was about
race.
16 on the machine.
Yeah,
as you say, not bad.
It was everything off. If that dog had done that in the last race it ran in, I would have had a good bet on it. It's the form afterwards that put me off.
Yeah.
14:02. Well, 35. Yeah, it's just No,
just because you're running open races, doesn't mean you have to be off.
Mm.
Anyway, return the page.
What do you fancy in this, Watty?
Elvis,
right.
I only like to say the old boy who lives over the road, Tony, my mate over the road, who we have dogs with. They've got with the kennel and that little syndicate together and bought 4 pups out of the same mother.
Yeah.
2 dogs and 2 bitches, and they look the part in the field as they're all nuts and everything. But you just hope you get one as fast as him. And she's his sister skate on. So, and this dog, I've been saying I'd like to see him around Romford because he obviously doesn't stay. I think he'd be absolute. We were saying if you'd buy him for Sunderland, you obviously only get 1 race out of him, and then that would be it. I would think because he'd be too fast for graded. But when Oxford or somewhere opens, I think like 450 or whatever it's going to be. It'd be some dog around places like that. I think with the early pace he's got. This might be a bit.
Get dizzy around Mildenhall.
Yeah, well, It's if you take the traps, isn't it? If you take the traps and start, it's like you said, if you go about Bosco absolutely brilliant around Sheffield, breaking 16 all the time, but couldn't lift his legs out the traps at Romford, could he?
Very strange as
Why
well.
don't you bet 5 here, Tom, and just have 1-5 forecast, something like that?
What, 1 and 5 reverse forecast?
No, just bet 5.
Yep. What would you stake?
What would you stake, Paul?
How much is it? How much you got left, Tom?
We
450.
are 450 we've got in the pot.
Well, there you go. 400 on Elvis and 50 pound contest.
Bit of powder dry.
You shouldn't ask me these questions when I'm on multi-drinks.
80 quid in the scorecast.
Oh,
It's gone 5-2 now, isn't it?
It's been bet as well. It was 4.5 on Betfair. That's
Go
one.
on.
It was 3.8
Go on,
now.
man. We need to get a profit.
yeah, it's back to 11-4.
Good.
So I'll say to you on that, and then the forecast. So we're going 1 and 5,
Yeah.
and you'd have a score on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, he's a dog now when he's showing the replay, and he's nowhere near the rails all the way around this one dog. I know it was his first run round, but he showed lovely early from just a sort of okay break.
Yeah.
But will he come away the same out
That's
the trap
thing,
one?
innit? If he does, it'll be a mess. But
he's
you're
big.
right.
He's 35. He's a 36 kilo dog, I think. So if he gets up the inside of him,
he's one of them. And he's more reliant. And he kind of his early pace takes him to the front. So if he flops out, then he
could run them all off or something, couldn't he?
That's the only thing with Drum Do It Bruno. You're probably going to lane 1.5 something like that, but he might just move in a bit on him. So we don't want him smashing out and taking the ground straight away. But when he gets any kind of sensible break, he'll go up. But Pocket Elvis is that's not a bad trial first look, is it? To be fair,
no, it's really good. Yeah, I mean, the Sydney dog's a good dog when he does it right, but he's moves off from trap 1. So I think 3 will suit him that way, but I think he's north from 3 out of trap 3, but he'll go to the rail at the first bend. So
I think he'll edge in from 3 as well. He won't, not violently, but I think he'll just edge in.
I think he'd be straight out the box.
3 than 1.
Yeah, he'd be straight out the boxes, but then go rails on the run up, so he could come together with 1.
Couple here. The Raider, Wentworth, even money 3 places. Fancy it a bit for the win also. And PM got the lot on trap 3 Mullins. There's a few that fancy this greenside Sydney.
I think 3. I thought 3. Well, he's none from 3 from trap 3, but when you see he run, I thought 3 would suit him better for trapping because he does move off from 1. But if he comes away, he is a fast dog. But he'll go rails then.
You need that 376 sectional.
Yeah, they say he hasn't done it early, has he?
That look, 379, 24.37's nice run. But then the 374 for Wentworth, so that could easily hold it up on the inside. It is a tough race. It's a tough race. This one.
It is a bit of a pacey race, to be fair. It is a bit of. It has got plenty of dogs that have got some kind of ability. Yeah.
Pocket Elvis 94 now. We got the value, if nothing else. You can't eat value, but we'll try.
No, it's strong on Betfair now.
I just think he's got the draw, Elvis. 4 will go in, 3 will go in.
Yeah, it is strong.
1 will move off.
Yeah.
But it's all about doing it right at the boxes.
Could well go off favourite.
It's fantastic pace, like you say, when he was leading in round central. I bet him at Central Park one night, 181, but off the last bend, he needed a taxi, he just hung on. And it was the same in that graded comp at Hove. He was leading him silly, wasn't he? But doesn't stay to 500.
15-8 now. It's favourite on the machine as well. And there hasn't been a trap 1. There hasn't been a trap 1 all night. So.
Very good.
Yeah, good point. Very good point.
Come on, bullet break.
Elvis has left the traps.
Good. Should we do a com?
Oh,
Go on.
Go on, son. Pace up.
Off from racing, Elvis has missed it. It's one up
Six is
on
going
the
round.
inside, showing
Smells a
early,
six,
6 on
like.
the outer, and Brightside Nick has come through to challenge Burgess Glengar, who rails nicely now. And Burgess Glengar shows good 2 to 3, hits the front into the third turn, goes on by a length and a
5
half
now.
from Brightside Nick. Big gap back to Pocket Elvis, who's trying to pick up in behind for the forecast, but he ain't going to get there. And Red has absolutely dashed away. Glengar. Actually, and that's another one. That there was fortunes for the dog we bet at the right price, and then he come back and
Yeah.
And again, if you're playing on the machine, like you probably just bet the pair of them, didn't you, and cover your money on Red. But he was a bit unlucky there, really.
5's ran all right, considering it fell out.
Yes, no.
But saying that, one's absolutely gone skew without the traps. Well, like we said, he's got that early pace.
Got
He has
good
run the
gears,
bend a
hasn't he?
lot better than I thought he would.
Got nice 2 to 3 as well, Paul.
Yeah,
Wasn't
he railed really well and all. To be
Yeah.
fair to the dog, like
Yeah.
that's. I mean, obviously it's only his second run round there. If he starts getting used to the boxes, he'd be top dog round there.
Yeah, she's good with the dog, Katie. I really like Katie. I
Yeah.
had a couple of graders with her at Crayford probably about 3 or 4 years ago. Really nice
It's
girl.
impressive. The one was impressive. The way it's run away from 6 there, because I mean the 6
Yeah,
has got 24.08 on its
Yeah.
card, and it's quite strong running. So
He is a strong runner 6 and graded. Yeah.
he's done very well.
Oh well,
Right.
got the value.
Yeah.
Well, in my life.
Yeah. We're minus 150 now.
Well, it could be in worse time. You could have listened to me and put the low on.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Got a plus on the machine though. That was the important bit.
And green. Thomas, a plant behind you under a heat lamp. It is a plastic plant from IKEA being lit by an IKEA lamp. There you go. John Ramsey, Romford FA Cup is now open for entry lads looking to get 16 or 32 entrants. £50 entry fee. All money's paid out. That's punchy in a post-COVID world, but
Is that start next week then?
it is.
Okay.
I think the one will have done a bit of a time in that last race.
So it didn't start either, did it? So
Not really.
they didn't want to, like I said, railed a lot better than that. I thought it would. Fair play to them.
That's right. I was impressed with that. Really impressed. Say it hasn't come away in its best fashion.
It didn't trap first time out. It was okay. I think it was just its early pace then, but it's just the way it stayed middle the whole way.
Yeah.
But them Romford tracks, like you said, Elvis has walked out. He's run all right, but them traps can find anything out, can't they?
They can tame lions, those traps. They're it's like we were saying earlier, dogs that bullet out of the traps go there and they just look pedestrian from the traps. It all changed when they changed the traps over to the other side, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's a thing I know. I'm just not having a go at them. Like, what when they open up Mildenhall and they're on about using the 428 traps from Henlow. When's the last time them traps were used? Must be 5-6 years ago, mustn't it?
Can a WD-40 and they're away.
Yeah, they'll need oiling.
Well, it took them a long time to oil the toaster traps, didn't it, to be fair? But
Toaster's haunted. It's the only possible explanation for everything that happens at Toaster.
I
it
think
has all the facilities you could want, doesn't it? You know, and
I need something to go and sage it.
has he got has Toaster got overnight covers for the track or not?
Well, I thought I saw anything when
I've never seen any.
Yeah, but I thought when someone from down there, and I think it might have been Mr. Boothby, was interviewed when it first reopened, and they weren't going to lose any meetings because they were using them heated covers.
Right.
Oh yeah,
Was
no, I do
it
remember that.
Was it Jeff Seeley heated covers or something
Yeah,
like that? So we won't lose any meetings because we're going to be using heated covers, and there won't be any problems whatsoever. And they lose more meetings than anyone, don't it?
I mean,
It's frozen off again. Yes, was it frozen off again yesterday?
Yeah, big wide open space.
Oh, yeah, and they put that fence up to try and help, but you know, if you've got heated covers down, you wouldn't think the track would freeze, would you?
You wouldn't. but I don't actually know whether it's got them or not.
You need the straw down like Cleveland Park used to have. Get the super paracalo out off the back, give them 12 away. Them were the days. As soon as the straw went down, different dog.
Needs to be like the old non-league clubs when they got an FA Cup fixture. The whole community turned out to defrost the track.
Dig the snow off the pitch.
Yeah.
If you're on Twitter, Dave at Branch is viewing. Thank you, Dave. Tuning in.
And good luck
Kenny,
with his
superb content from the chaps. Breath of fresh air to watch the dogs with detailed punting chat. Thank you very much.
Good luck to Dave with his job interview he had today.
Charlie Bevan says, really enjoying it. Is Roger Barton still betting at Romford? Any stories from the boys, good or bad? I don't know if Roger's still about. I've not been for a little while. Do you know, Paul?
Me? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
He was the. Yeah, I think. I think they might have done an interview with him. Probably one of them outside broadcasts at RP. But he was. What was the bastard of Billingsgate, wasn't he?
That's it. Yeah.
A
guy 2 doors down. Yeah, a guy 2 doors down from me used to work there.
We tried to get some fish off of him. You think I do you a favour? He didn't really do me too many favours, but.
Robin did. Robin used to, but not for me. For me, ex-Barbara. He give what she was giving him for the fish. I don't know, but there you go.
Yeah, Harry's confirmed it. I went on New Year's Day, and it was only Steve Simmons betting. He was only bookie standing.
Blimey.
I couldn't get it. He wouldn't let me have a bet with him, Roger. Someone said you should take it as a compliment. So one night, can you remember Lager John? PL. Tall Lager John, sort of tall, skinny lad, glasses, long dark hair. Used to stand with me and Grant and Sean.
Yeah.
So I said to him, "Go down and have a monkey to 60. This dog over 575 first time." And what does that mean? And I was like, "Just go down and ask Roger for it." And with boxes open, they won by about 7 lengths. I said, "Give us a ticket. I'm going down and collect it." The chalk and everything went everywhere. He was not impressed.
Yeah. Oh, he could spew, couldn't he? He could have a right paddy.
Yeah.
He didn't like you beating him.
No.
Didn't like you beating him. No, I never really betted with him too much, I must admit. I bet quite a lot with Steve Simmons, to be fair, or Jerry.
Yeah. Steve Allen was a good bookmaker who was on there.
Oh, yeah, really, really good.
Well, he had a view though, didn't he? He come out with
good opinion. Yeah, good opinion.
Yeah.
Steve Simmons had a good few quid off me over the years.
No,
you could get a good few quid on at Romford.
You can. They're all right. Yeah, no, and they. I wouldn't say a pout with a smile, but they're nice guys there.
Oh, without doubt, yeah.
Yeah. My missus is worried because she's in the background here. She's worried. She's being visioned.
She is.
Yeah.
She is.
It's a nice dressing gown. It's a nice dressing gown, though.
It's a nice dressing gown, yeah. She's been out all day, bless her. She started working part time in the deli in the village. And then over Christmas, the fella's got a farm shop as well. He's had a work in there. He's had a driving and delivering today. Jesus,
someone has to bring the readies in. Someone has to bring the readies in.
She is game, Lorraine. To be fair, she's game.
Someone has to be at home and let the dogs out.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to take it for a walk and feed him today. Normally, that's we do it between us, but.
Couple of comments from earlier. Ian Brindle, graded sprints and handicaps are pretty much no bet races for me in this current punting environment. And as for Sunderland's mix of two, very tough if off scratch and needing rails.
Oh, they couldn't bet graded. They couldn't bet handicap sprints at Sunderland. You'd go skint without a shadow of a doubt. The only I like Doncaster, but there's a couple of guys who talk to on Twitter and stuff like that, and who were good judges there. I don't mind the sprints at Doncaster. I think you get a few chucked in them sprints and that.
Yeah, Craig, he likes a sprint.
H does as well.
Yeah.
Cole Murphy, racing's becoming a product, not a sporting event with a social side. Can't disagree with that, can you?
I hate that word product, but that's what I know what he's saying.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're treating it as, and that's the painful part from a purist and an enthusiast like us. You just think they've just hijacked the sport and they're not really doing anything for it, and it just becomes 14 races and bingo, and that's not what we want.
Well, how horrific is it that you don't have a Friday or Saturday night meeting at Sunderland or Newcastle?
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's crazy.
And when you used to go, they'd be absolutely mobbed
Exactly.
out all the time.
Yeah.
You couldn't, if you went up in the car, like you said, if you drove up to Sunderland, if you had a dog run or whatever, you were lucky to get parked if you were there near your kick-off time. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Newcastle's the same. I was going to Newcastle on a train, and that when, well, it was when he started the Superstar of Daniels Kennel Fight the Power when they were in the Northern Puppy Derby final. And like that was a midweek meeting. I think it was a Thursday night when they were running then, but it was quite busy. But Saturday nights and everything, all these tracks are mobbed out. Where are these people going to go now? You know what I mean? Because if you decide to do it, but the ARC, they just do not want. For me, they do not want owners there. They don't want anyone in the tracks. They're happy to run them tracks with just no bootmakers, no punters.
There doesn't
You know
seem
what I
to
mean?
be. There doesn't seem to be any kind of thinking outside the box or any kind of promotional side of it. They don't seem to want to be able to promote the sport. I mean, the things that they do in Australia, like because they've got big prize money, then they sell, say, tickets for a 10% or even a 2% share for a massive, 300 or 400 grand competition to someone that's to give them an interest. So the outside, so they might have. I think there was a bowls club I saw, and they went there to support this dog, the bowls club. And they were cool, isn't this good? So now all of a sudden you've got like some people that weren't interested in dogs, and now they are.
Yeah, the Irish do that with the hurling clubs as well, don't they?
Yeah,
All sponsor a dog.
Yeah.
But it's
I think
quite
it's a
simple.
great
I mean,
idea.
to be fair, I mean, I listen. I don't know Karen very well at Romford, but they all say that she's brilliant, and she does her best to promote stuff there.
Yeah, well, she at least goes on Twitter and promotes stuff, doesn't she?
Exactly.
And at least uses social media, where some tracks you wouldn't know what social media was, would they?
No, it's true.
Interesting one here. Is the prize pool shocking as it's oversaturated with mediocre racing? It's quite a deep answer to that, really, isn't it?
Yeah, there's too much racing.
Yeah,
There's too much, but there isn't too much for the media groups because they're obviously.
Oh no, they need it. Yeah.
That's exactly it, Matt. Yeah.
Fortunes selling the pictures. It's the thing that grates me is this sport is based upon gambling, and it always has been.
Yeah.
And
always will be.
Well,
exactly what I said earlier on, Matt.
Yeah,
exactly what I
but
said.
they don't. But they
That's
don't
what
want people
Finley
to
keeps
gamble.
saying. It's a gambling sport, and it's a brilliant gambling sport. The 24, 25, 30 seconds, and it's over. And it's we don't promote it enough, though. That's the thing. We don't set it up enough, so it becomes the bingo numbers, and it's ridiculous. They should be getting more and more people involved to show them what a good product it is.
I mean, just going with horse racing, talking about ARC. I mean, ARC have recently tried on the all-weather tracks to get, was it 10 race counts? 12 race counts?
Yeah.
Horse racing, luckily enough, have had a togetherness, and they're not controlled by promoters to say, no, we're not doing it.
Yeah.
But that would have gone just, they're trying to take horse racing the same way as they've done with Greyhound racing.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, if you go back 5 years ago, no one would have said to be like 8 o'clock in the morning dog racing.
No.
it's just incredible.
And you won't have, and by the way, you won't have any Saturday night racing either.
Just going back to the tracks, not promoting. I mean, if you wind the clock back not too long ago, Sheffield, now you've got to take your hat off to them. They built that massive restaurant, and they got a grant of £1 million for it. How short-sighted of the other promoters not to do something similar when half of it was getting paid for?
Yeah.
And it does show just a lack of ambition on a lot of tracks' parts, but they can run a tight ship with as few staff as possible, not make it an inviting place for owners, yet still have 4-5 media contracts.
Yeah.
And then fortunes.
Well, I mean, Sheffield this month, they rated £10 for a 2-course meal, free entry and a drink or something, just to get January, it's a quiet month.
Yeah,
I'm sure on a Tuesday night, I think it was.
And I think that the food's pretty good as well. It's not. It's
the best restaurant one of the best restaurants in the country, isn't it? Everyone says.
Yeah, without a doubt. They. I mean, some people don't like the configuration of the trap, this, that, and the other. You've got to say they do promote well. The restaurant, you take a customer, a client, so you won't be, embarrassed to take them there.
Yeah.
But how many tracks can you say that about?
Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're shocking. There's some absolutely shocking tracks, and it's just lack of investment. Newcastle's horrendous inside. It's falling apart. But you don't want to see any track closed. You don't really want to speak ill of a track because you like the racing, you like going there, you like
Yep.
staying on the terraces, but the investment in them is shocking. And if you want to attract people to the sport, as you say, corporate level,
Well, that's
bring
what
clients, you want to bring somewhere decent.
Well, that's what tours have got in the favour, haven't they? You know, the facilities and everything are great. It's just from a purist point of view, watching the racing, it doesn't inspire me with any interest in betting graded there or anything like that.
I agree. Right, let's have a look at this race. Interesting non-runner in 5. I quite liked the 5. A bit of value, but it's not there, so we can't dwell on that.
Red's very high class there. Might be a bit short for her, I think. Blue hasn't run since October, so that puts me off that. White too slow away, but it's like the other one now. They had the Farney dog strong. I just thought it was 4 and 5 were my two, but I thought Betty's Book might start better from 4 than she has been when she's been on the inside. And if she gets round in front, I don't think she get picked up.
It's got a 13.47 sectional as well.
It's very hit and miss, but if it starts, I think it'd be Betty's Book for me.
PL?
Yeah, I made it 3 runners. I made it Slippy Eva over Betty's Book over Doghouse Dreamer. And I actually bet, as I said, I think I might have said, I bet Doghouse Dreamer earlier on at 5. So basically, I'd probably say it's a fair old match. And I tend to agree with what Paul said there in that I know Betty's, I'm not one of those bitches, I'm not really a massive fan of her particularly, but she's quick when she gets it right from the start. She used to run at Nottingham when I was doing the Nottingham cards, and she would. There's no way if she clears Slippy Eva into the turn, if she leads, she win, and that's the end of it. And actually, they're flip flop now, aren't they? So,
well, she's won over fairs at Yarmouth, hasn't she?
Yeah, and I suppose he's got beat now. Pocket Elvis. I think Pocket Elvis ran well, but Slippy Eva ran him to 3 parts in the trial. Again, Paul, 400 trial, 575 race.
Yeah. Like I said, if it had been me, I'd have had Slippy Eva and Smash Machine in a 2-dog trial after sprint. I know neither of them are sprinters, especially Slippy Eva, but at least you get used to the boxes, don't you?
Yeah,
and I think there is a big difference, even though they're the same type of traps.
No dangers, yeah, no dangers. So that actually could be a negative. So yeah, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be adverse. I make it a match between 1 and 4. So if you want to bet 4 here, we can have a go with 4.
She's gone deaf.
I'm going to take some 9 to 4. Are we going another 100? Is 3 to 1. 3 to 1.
It's 3.1 on Betfair as well. Who's gone 3 to 1?
Where's Bet? Oh, it's 2 to 1. Wasn't quick enough. It's probably not allowed to type it. Oh, 3 to 1. There we go. Thank you very much.
Get them buttons pressed, Dave. 3 to 1.
Yeah, you need to press them a bit quicker next time, all right?
Yeah. I don't know, what is your mobile site on here? I think I've my settings. Well,
what does anyone make of the 2? It's got. I mean, it's ran over 750. Got trouble, beat 7 lengths.
It's a good dog too, but like I say, the only thing that puts me off is I don't think he's had a race since October.
It was interesting this morning. It was interesting this morning with the 1 dog. Was probably of favourites today. There was a big difference of opinion in the early betting. It's like Bresbet 2 to 1, 365 or 11 to 8 with it. I think there was some 5 to 4, 6 to 4.
Yeah, there were 2 to 1 joints, weren't they, Matt? 1 and 4, Bresbet. So they can't really. They kind of wanted to lay Slippy Eva, and that's the way the Betfair market's gone as well.
Yeah, and the book, and the show. I mean, 65 out to 5-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John
I just
Ramsey,
wonder whether
red to
Ragtime
place
Arthur might
here.
need the brace here.
Red to place here at evens, absolutely buying it. Can't be out the 2.
Well,
Yeah,
had
probably.
a few drifters, isn't he?
Yeah, she should be in front of. I think she'll be in front of the 2 anyway. So.
Okay. We'll indulge.
Is there money for 6 because I think the inside 4 could all go up near at the end?
Possible with a 5 being vacant as well.
It's got, like I say, it's got a plot draw 6. It's very wide, but
Yeah.
I never had it down as good enough to beat these sort of dogs.
Didn't think it was good enough, really. Yeah.
I agree.
We need a smash here, Paul.
Yeah.
That's what we need. We need a Kevin Boone smash.
Yeah, I think I got 3-1 for this morning. But obviously that's gone out the window because of the vacant trap.
Come on then, KB. Bet his book.
Go on then.
Oi, oi!
Go on then.
Oh, that is an aggressive run.
They call that wading at Wincanton.
Go, Betty! On you go!
You're going to get a sore throat now.
I'm going to get my binoculars out.
Aye, aye.
Go on, lass. You, lass, keep pulling. Keep pulling.
Go on, Gil.
Oh, yes, it's past the drop. Bloody hell, out 6 to win. Back chasing that down.
It's really chasing it. I'm getting concerned.
No.
I tell you what, I can't believe it's got as
No.
Jesus Christ. That his book's one of 690. How the hell has it got as close to that? That's running nap its nuts off.
Don't know.
But it doesn't matter. You win in neck or you win 10 lengths, you get paid the same.
You don't get paid any extra. We got 3.
Nah.
That is 3. Yeah, so that's 300 less the 50 I wanked away on the inside one, but that's still 250 profit.
Oh, you had the place as well, did you?
Yeah, I backed 1 for the place.
They lured you in.
He is a good judge, John. He is a good judge. Not on this bet, obviously, but
Can't get it right all the time. But just need to get it right more times than you get it wrong.
That's it.
That's all it's about. I thought I was going to win 20 lengths when the red got stopped at the first bend.
Yeah, I must admit, it did get a bit scary. He was.
So what's going on here?
I think she tightened up a little bit, you know.
Yeah, it might have cramped, won't she?
I think she did.
Yeah.
I think she tightened up.
You'd take a chance on 6 in an S1 next time if you were a graded punter.
You might. Yeah.
Oh, cocktail.
we are in profit.
Oh, we're in profit now.
You're putting a lot on in your last, Tom. Shit or bust.
Yeah, I think so. That's the proper way, isn't it?
That's the only way, isn't it? You'd either walk home or get a limousine, don't you? You walk home or you go to race for the Chinese. You know what I mean? It's one or the other, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
The old blue orchid.
Feathers for tea tomorrow.
Wait, what?
Chicken or feathers.
Aye.
So Antigua socks time then, what do we think?
Like,
I think if I could have been on a 3-1, I'd have had me £15 that I'd have been allowed on. But it's absolutely plotted up. I mean, it's up against all. I mean, Ayala Blake's fast, very fast. Scala O'Meara is very fast, but they all move off. And the red runs a track better than most, doesn't it? It's such a plot track, unreal. I don't understand how anyone who's pricing dogs up could have made that dog 3-1. You know, that's a bit to it. Yeah, and it's open racing as well, isn't it? You know, it's not like.
It's the best drawn dog since Mr. Rule the other day, is this one.
Yeah. It's just, win, lose or draw, anyone who's gone on a 3-1, they've got on at a good price. And whoever priced that up for Sky Bet, Sportsbook, I mean, really doesn't need to get.
That must have been a rick. You cannot have put that up at 3-1 and watch Greyhound.
They did it all day, though. They did it all day. They made enormous mistakes. I mean, you don't always get punished for them, but
you get punished for that.
Cool, dear.
You need a new job if they think that was a 3-to-1 shot.
Yeah.
Does anybody know anybody who actually got any 3-to-1?
No.
Did you, Watty?
No. I was at work today, wasn't I? Even though I wasn't
When I wrote
doing
the
a lot,
prices
I was
down,
at work.
they were 5-4. I didn't see any threes, but
Yeah.
they were 5-4. But
Someone said odds checker, Richard Howard, odds checker doesn't show 3-1.
right.
It was on there. If you looked at sports books prices where they go 3-1, 7-4, whatever, 3-1 was definitely available by that.
For a
Like you say, if it may have been allowed 16 quid or something on, but
Simon T, I'm part owner of 2. We haven't got a great draw. Prefer trap 3, trap 4. Is that Scala O'Meara? Is that Cillian's game?
yeah.
That's,
I mean, he's been
Scala O'Meara.
he's been a
I
great dog.
really like Scala O'Meara. That's
Yeah.
a dog I would like to own.
Well, our favourite Spanish owner's got a leg in it as well. I think we were all on first time when he won his graded race. But he is a bit hit and miss at the boxes, isn't he? But when he does it right, he's a very fast dog.
Yeah.
When he's runs around Limerick, where in the that competition he had on RPG TV, he showed loads of early in that, but just wasn't getting home.
Conan
I
Annie
actually think
Kirby.
he's got the best early in the race.
Yeah,
I think he's got the best early in the race.
Yeah,
But as you say,
yeah.
it's whether he can.
It's an unfamiliar track for him,
He's a
isn't it?
middle runner. He
He's
should
got
do
to
them right.
move off. So
Yeah.
he's got to move. He's definitely got to move off.
Three and four is boxers, aren't they? But he's been a really good dog for them, and he's done it at plenty of different tracks as well.
Yeah, no, he's a nice. He's got. I think 2 and 4. I mean, even 4's probably got slightly better earlier than 1. But once, as you say, he's just got to draw or die for, and he's a winner, isn't he? He's one of them dogs that just seems to win.
How many times you look at these races and you think, well, there's a lot of early in the race, and that turns in front off the second bend.
Yeah,
he runs the first 2 bends brilliant.
Yeah.
PM trap 2, surely the one to be on in the 854. He's the value 4-1 now. That's pretty big.
Talking of our favourite Espanola owner, he has his dogs. One of the dogs that's been nominated, Deadly Donut, for the RPG TV Dog of the Year thing. Anyone listening, get your votes in for him, please. We don't want to cause any bias or anything, but crack on.
Simon T said, "I'm a part owner of 2. We haven't got a great draw. Prefers 3 or 4, which is what you said, Tom."
Yeah.
Someone actually said earlier on, I think they must do Doncaster, and Lightfoot Jerry's running the 242 tomorrow. They fancy that. It's one of the Sean Parker's got so many good pups at Doncaster.
Yeah.
Really, really quick dogs, and obviously he's a good trainer. His mum was a good trainer, and Sean's doing really well. They just seem to be improving, and the step up in trip is gonna soon. There's not massive pace in the race. There's not a lot of early in the race at all. So
is he 483 tomorrow?
Say again?
Has he gone from sprint to 450 or 450 to 483?
No, he's gone from 450 to 483.
483.
Yeah.
He's got some really nice dogs.
He tends to have a lot of strong running types in his kennel, doesn't he?
Yeah.
His strike rate percentage is phenomenal at Doncaster when you look at it.
Yeah.
You know, he's head and shoulders above.
You always know the trainer's doing well at a track because suddenly the track starts putting you 2 or 3 dogs in a race.
Yeah, very true. Yeah.
Because then your percentage goes down a bit and it doesn't look as bad on the track.
Yeah.
And like I say, we know from experience where our trainer's been said, why we've had to put your dog up in grade without winning because you're having too many winners. Right, so you get punished for doing your job right. How does that work?
Unfortunately, it's graded it just rewards mediocrity, doesn't it? Really,
they don't want you doing it right all the time.
No.
To be fair, though, as well, he probably takes a few dogs to Sheffield as well. Does Sean?
Yeah, they winner last week, didn't you? The week before, one of the Lightfoot pups won, didn't it?
Yeah,
beat that to Shade, didn't it? And she's a nice dog, isn't she?
Yeah, he's got some really decent pups. Really decent.
It's good. At the top end, they're good quality dogs at Doncaster.
Yeah.
Some of them at the bottom end aren't so great, obviously, but that's at every track, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the same everywhere, mate. Yeah.
I mean, Romford now have introduced A11s.
Say again?
Haven't Romford got A11 now?
No.
Yeah, so they have, haven't they?
Oh, jeez.
Sure.
I'm sure they've got A11 races now. Not many, but
qualifying time is just to make it round.
Qualifying time if you turn up off the van.
Yeah, if you get over the line, you've qualified. I'll tell you, in all seriousness, you do look at some of the. I know dogs have to start somewhere, and not all dogs can be sort of fast in a way, but some of it, I'm going to single Hove out here. If you watch Hove graded, the amount of quirky screws, fighters, whatever you want, uninterested, not chasing dogs, it's just huge, and it's much, much worse than it was 5 years ago.
Well, look at Crayford today. I'm not saying a dodge pots and anything like that, but the card today there's about 4 A10s on there. Go back a couple of years, their dogs wouldn't even grade.
They wouldn't even grade. You're right, 100%.
And they have to change the grade. Was Ian Smart Stream, to breed slow dogs. I mean, where'd that comment come from?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to do that, don't they? Let's use a bitch that can't run a message and breed off her, because then that'd be great. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ, where's the ambition?
The lack of breeding, or the reduced breeding's already biting, but I think it's going to be far worse in 12 months' time. I mean, it's relentless, isn't it? Is the bags machine, and how many dogs they need, and it's a horrible term, but the wastage rate, the dogs that get injured and have to be retired, it's way too big. And I just think there's tracks that are really putting effort into the running surface, and then there's tracks that just don't want to or don't have the time because there's so much racing.
Well, the new guy who's doing it from Godolphin, he's interested in using Chipita, isn't he? And and because they can't get the sand anymore or whatever. But then someone the other day saying, no, they're not going to give him the injury stats from each track.
No.
But then I think it was Peter Handon said, oh no, that's wrong. He is going to get the stats or whatever. But I know they're I think they visited a few different kennels that have gallops and stuff like that, and want to sort of test the Chipita thing out. So whether the GBGB will pay for that, because obviously if you want trainers to lay gallops to suit them, they want paying for it, don't they? They're not going to do it themselves off their own bat, are they?
Do you remember? Do you remember some years ago when Barry O'Sullivan they laid Barry O'Sullivan's schooling track? They financed an experiment there. It cost 6 figures, and they put a surface down at Barry's, and they were trialing this surface, trying to cut down on injuries, but it was scrapped.
Yeah, it was disastrous. So actually, Lorraine was part of. She knew about that because obviously she was stipendiary steward, and she said that it was an absolute disaster. So all those where that you say that lad is coming in, he was going to now experiment with tapeter and all. It's all been done, Matt. That's the thing. It's all been done before, and it was a disaster.
Right.
As much if you think, I mean, we used to gallop when we were in Waltham Abbey. We used to gallop dogs around a menage, horse menage, and it was like a silica sand. It had like a wax to it, and it was brilliant. But there was also an outdoor one, which was an all-weather. It was from literally a horse all-weather thing. It's got bits of piping, like rubber piping and all sorts, which is okay for a horse's hoof, but it's not it would bruise a dog's toe, So So it's a world of difference between a horse gallop and a dog gallop.
Yeah.
On to the racing. I've taken some of the 10 to 11 while you've been chatting. I think that's a decent price for Antigua Socks. I'd prefer the 3 to 1, but 10 to 11 is not bad.
Yeah, it looks absolutely plotted, doesn't it? So that'd be my reason. I do like 4. I bet 4 a few times just when around Central Park.
I wouldn't have had that if the owner of Scarlet O'Meara hadn't come on.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, but if you watch the dog, he normally runs, doesn't he, out of 3 and 4. He's seeded middle, so I'm sure, like he said, they'd be much happier drawn 3 or 4. I think it's just not from a thinger, because I don't think you do it. It's just from a will he break from trap 2?
55 years at the moment on YouTube. Hello, everyone. If you could subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. Once we get to 100 subscribers, it unlocks a few more features for us. It means we can make the stream even better.
There you go.
Yeah, crack on, people.
I think we've got 73. Bellevue Dogs, straight on the subscribe button. Thank you very much.
Top man. He's one of the Doncaster experts, by the way.
Jeremiah Murphy, Musky Rat, Gull, Leslie Allison. Thank you all for subscribing.
So how much we had on Antigua socks, Tom?
A ton.
Right.
What, a 10 to 11?
Oh, it's evens now. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't have a 110 to win 100.
The thing
I
is, I'm
can't.
not betting with cash, so it doesn't really make any difference.
Yeah, I know, but just it makes it easy to work out.
I'm not trying to make it just easier for the bookies. I'll take my £90 and 91p. Oh, we're back to levels, you devils.
You need to be in profit for my image rights at the end of the night. When you get,
Evens. Antigua Socks 4 to 5 on track.
I'll be going in again.
Do you think it's a going?
2.16.
Do we think it's a going again?
2.16 on Betfair.
Yeah.
Do we think it's a going again? 11 to 10.
Get another ton on. Come on.
All right.
Yeah, crack on.
Getting bigger now.
$2.36. Someone knows something that we don't. Or is it because there hasn't been a one dog?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, could easily.
Yeah,
Be.
it could
There has
be.
been a one dog.
Yeah,
There's
it could well be.
been a one dog, hasn't it? That
Katie's dog.
Yeah, there has
Katie's
been a
one, didn't it? Yeah.
There's been money for the 4 dog as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good dog when he does it right at the start as well. But
Dogs, just get a break.
he goes in and 2 goes off. Oh, that's it, isn't it? Oh, my Amira's come away.
Amira's out.
Oh, Amira's out.
Go on, Rail.
Rail.
No, gone. Won it.
Ford spoiled one here.
Yeah.
Not home yet, Skeleton, mate, because he's a bit short runner, isn't he?
Well, here he
He's
comes.
a bit short.
Oh,
He's a
here
bit
comes
short.
one.
Oh,
Here
he's run
comes
off
one.
after him.
Comes.
No, he's gone off too wide.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Half a length.
Half a length.
Disappointing.
Fair play to. He's said, like you said, he's a fast dog when he does it right at the start.
Yeah.
And he's done it right at the start, hasn't he?
That's the thing. Is
Fair play, well done to the Nathan Hunt Racing Club and all the boys.
Yeah, while he's moving off, he broke, and that's what he's got. I said to you, I thought he had best early, and he definitely had best early.
If he traps level, yeah.
He's only broke a length in front of 4, and he was too clear of it at the first bend, so he had best early. And I know 4, as you say, 4's got early. I know 1 had a plot, but I bet 2 dogs on the early. And again, only small, but both Nathan Hunts, both at 5 to 1. This was one of them. So
I understand why one's gone so wide there. What was 3 that had a right look after the line, didn't it?
a Swift Cope, yeah.
Yeah.
Not all the ticket.
Well, there we go. We're back into the red. There's a guy I like to channel in these scenarios.
The only bonus there was I was trying to get more running and didn't, so that's a bonus. But he did drift a lot on Betfair one, which is always a worrying sign. Right, going for some more whiskey.
Oh, what a star man he is.
I should have got you to have the 2-1 card, Tom, shouldn't I?
Having the bad people. Still having the bad people. So anyone out there who's up against the wall, fucking stick to it. Every cent you got, your rent, your electricity bill, if you're going to buy your missus a ring, don't fucking do it. Keep punting. Keep fucking punting. Why keep back?
Few words of advice for the lads there.
Who was that from?
It's a guy in Australia, and it starts with the line, "I'm proof that good things can happen to bad people," which I think is just great. But I like to channel him when I'm on a losing run.
Let's just ask social man, just who is the guest on Racing Post Ground TV? It's Rhea Tillett, who is Patrick and Cheryl's daughter, Patrick Jansen's daughter. Really nice girl. Yeah, well done to the owners of Elmira. We've got Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very well done, lads. It's a great dog. It is a really good dog. You can't keep a good dog down.
Someone said there, Mr. Haverton and Bresbet tempted you in there, Tom.
They did.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah. No, I made Amir a second in. I think I put that on the WhatsApp messages earlier on. I did make it. I think Corals went 11-2 in. They were standout 11-2, which I managed to burgle a bit of 5. So.
Okay, we go again. Message from Richardson Racing Kennels. This red Marion's Artist, middle seeded, graded, electric early, never wants the rails.
What was that, Tom? Say again.
Red Marion's Artist, middle seeded, graded, electric early, but never wants the rails.
No, it doesn't. I agree with that. I thought that was quite kind of priced a bit. That was one of my sort of potential lays as well. It's got a little bit of early, and it's got an 18-10 win at Nottingham, but all the runs, even at Peelor, are from 4 and 5, and I just think he'll be spending his time moving into lane 3. And I know definitely that, although I don't give Sporting Galileo too much of a chance, that wants to go straight for the rails.
Yeah, it's probably the best dog at Peelor, Marion's Artist.
Yeah.
And it's very fast, but I agree with you. It's just very strange. I mean, last time I suppose it was in trap 5, where it doesn't want to be really at Romford, but they took the chance. Maybe he's seen it as a rail and hoping they're going to get 3, and it's a strange straw for him.
Yeah.
Adrian Blanco Perez, a Spanish raider, Guan Scala, oi oi oi.
Yeah.
Scotty Douglas, when is Adrian on? We'll definitely get Adrian on for some El Oyois from Spain.
Yes, not seen him since he travelled all the way to Yarmouth. I thought me and Matt's journey was bad enough, but at least it wasn't as bad as him coming from Spain that day, was it? We went to Yarmouth to see. No, we went there. It was when Danny got put in the worst kennel on the track, and he ended up to make a missy up, I think, and it worked for them.
It's interesting owning dogs.
Bitter and remember these sort of things.
The number of external factors there are when you're having a bet, when you own dogs that you didn't realise existed. So, for example, you've got a dog in with a bitch that they really like, and the bitch goes on heat, and then the dog's on its own and really miserable for the week. That can slow them down. They could be a bad kenneler, and it's a late race in the card. You won't know that. There's a lot of external factors in dog racing.
For most blokes, if the missus goes disappearing for a few weeks, they're quite happy about it, aren't they? But what are you going to do? I'm not saying for everybody.
Darren Bird, new viewer, say hi to Borowati, Cleveland Park, great show.
Super Cleveland Park, it's an absolute sin to shut it down. Football pitches now in the school, I think.
I quite like the 4 in this upcoming race at Romford. I thought it was the most consistent dog in the race.
He's 2 from 2 from track 4, Matt, as well.
Yeah, exactly. 24.07. Be good enough to win this, you'd have thought.
Yeah,
just got a lot of pace outside him, hasn't he?
I thought the 24.20 and 24.19, you just think, hang on, this is going the right way, isn't it? It's got a 24.23 getting beat. A 24.07 as well winning it. Although I suppose Rail McCoy can do that with a clear run, I just thought, especially being off, and he's had 4 trials back as well. So Mark's obviously had problems kind of getting him 100% right. And I know he'll kind of move into lane 3 himself. I think 4 will move off. 3 will definitely dive straight for the rails. I think 4 will have plenty of room to edge across anyway. 5 will go across, and 6 is probably going to edge in a little bit, but 6 was quite impressive last week when.
Yeah, I watched that video. He took off the knee in the A1, yeah.
Yeah.
He kept out wide then as well. He kept out the way dogs rather, which was a
Romford,
bit of a change, isn't it?
Yeah. Paul, yeah, you're right.
But 372 handles, some sectional, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's decent. I think the thing about the 4 is, I don't think it has to lead this race to win it.
No, he's got good back straight as well, Paul. Matt, hasn't he? Yeah.
He has. He has.
He's got good 2 to 3. He's probably not got blinded early, but he's got good all round pace, really. Good bend runner as well. Good bend runner.
Yeah.
Not the quickest starter, but some decent times there.
Yeah.
I'm talking myself into backing it.
Second at the moment, second in on Betfair's Marina's Artist. 6's favourite. Real McCoy 7-2.
Wow.
Not much money match, to be fair.
No, but it's
Crazy
the
price.
start of the market, isn't it? You wouldn't expect Real McCoy to be 7-2, would you?
Actually, I think Bresbet was 7-2. They obviously want to get 4 in the book.
Yeah,
You might be able to oblige him in a minute, Tom.
Yeah.
I just, like I say, he's only 1 from 4 to top 5, Real McCoy, but he's been up for a while as well, and he's
Yeah.
whole flying you out with this. So if the red goes bingo, that'll get off the front and won't see which way that'll go, because it is a really fast dog.
Yeah, I must admit, I can't see that happening for one. I can't see it going bingo out of the red hole.
No,
The track it doesn't want to be in, and then it's going to spend its time moving into lane 3.
Yeah,
that's me negative. Although you know,
should we back the 4?
We've had a few that we've said won't go bingo at night. They've gone bingo, haven't we? So
yeah, Scarra O'Meara was a point in case, isn't it? That doesn't really want to be in 2. And yet
4-1. They're tempting me in again.
There's been a few out of trap 2 that've hit the lid tonight, but there's no trap 2 here. So.
Are we backing 4?
What? 5 you want?
I think the price dictates it. I made 4 marginal favourites, so I think it's a completely wrong price, me personally.
Yeah,
are we going ton on?
400
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're on.
I know it's ran well last time, but 2.78 for 6 looks a bit short on Betfair.
Yeah.
I don't think the market's matured properly yet. Yeah.
Oh no, there's only $1.5 grand in it.
Yeah. I think 4-1's value anyway, as we know.
But we also know you cannot eat value, so.
Yeah, but it's always nice to get it.
You've got to bet to value. You can't not.
If you beat the price regular and in the long term, you should make a few quid, shouldn't you?
As long as you don't go.
Tom, because you said about the subscribing business, I just retweeted our live thing off of Twitter.
Yep.
And Richardson Racing has put on Twitter, best crack and dog talk in a long time.
Oh, that's
good. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And it's all been so polite as well.
But have we hit the magical 100? We've only got 85 subscribers. We need 15 more. It's going up. It's going up.
Yeah. If we find a few more winners, you might get a few more subscribers.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. 3 now.
We've been a couple of races. We've been a little bit unlucky with the Burgess dog. I think probably after time again, I'd have dodged them. I probably would have bet them both with the price they went.
Yeah.
But I committed to doing the cast, and then we never had the cast with Scarlett O'Meara. I fancied, and we were all
because the rest to be in the frame, didn't it?
That's punting. That's making you decisions, isn't it? And it's not.
Yeah.
You know, I say this to Lorraine quite often. I said to you earlier on, didn't I? Where I can fancy a dog, it goes so short, I lay it. But also, where you make it maybe 2 runners, the dog that you really fancy goes so skinny that you go with the bigger price one and you just cover on your other dog. You know, so you can kind of.
I often do a forecast back, and the one that should have done it, even though it would have probably been about 4-1, but it was that one bitch where I got 9-4 for the Harry bitch. The only other running was 3. Betfair probably would have been 4-1 the forecast. You could have had, nicked a few quid that way.
Massive 2 runners. I totally agree with you. Yeah, and I do that sometimes. Why didn't you do that? It was straightforward. You knew it was straightforward, and you don't do it. And that's our just kind of half being on the toes, and you're kind of assessing it, and you're trying to keep everyone happy as well. When you got 4 people, it's not always the easiest. Whereas when you're on, you might go click, 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 and do it. But when you're dealing with other people's money, it's not a and you might think, fucking LPL, grow up. But that happens. It's just.
I like what we said earlier. I like doing dogs to beat the field bets, because if the right one wins and you get the outsider home, like Bang on Sonia outsider, if you'd have took the frame up dog in that race and got the right one in the 16-1 poke, that forecast probably pays 70, 80 to 1.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Even if you have for a fiver,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You're nicely in front, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Can't hear from Warren Bond. This reminds me of the old Betfair forum days, watching the Walthamstow Romford webcast. Good stuff, guys. Thank you, Warren.
Good man.
John Ramsey, crack is great, lads. Not how you spell crack, unless you think we're on the other sort. But we need to see more rage when the dogs get chinned. I think the Romford FA Cup will help on that front next week. Tom, you may need to famous
More rage. I've just been told off by the missus, by the way. She said I shouldn't swear. All right.
Shocking behaviour.
Yeah.
The old Romford match bets used to bring some rage up.
Oh, they did.
I've asked her tonight as well, Paul, if she'll dress up like Tanya.
She's going to have to go and get her clothes out with Skip then.
These are not the official reviews of Greyhound Watch Along.
The same Skip as Boris Johnson gets his from. And the same haircut, funnily enough. It's not related.
Up to 90 subscribers now. Thank you very much, guys.
Kick on.
Kick on.
I need another drink. Another winner, so I can go and get some more vodka to go over my whiskey.
Priorities on the vodka and the whiskey now. Dangerous.
Vodka whiskey, Prava diet. Can't go wrong. There you go.
Every dog's on the drift on the machine. Every dog.
I used to like it when you put those things with your steps, Paul, on a Saturday afternoon. It's been a hard day walking to the fridge and back.
Yeah, well, it was true as well. When I was working from home, it was not much done. It's overrated. Check up jogging, die fit. You know what I mean? It's not for me. Oh, he's that Kiss Kennel.
Message from Al6LIKTO, which I assume is Turkish or something. Have you tried trading dogs on Betfair instead of betting?
Yeah.
The bigger price dogs, you'll get a really we've put some price up on Betfair. Betfair's on the screen now.
But sometimes we've even beaten Betfair on a couple of our bets.
We have, we've beaten Betfair on a few of the dogs tonight.
Yeah.
I think anything a big price, anything that's sort of 20 to 1, 30 to 1 to a bookies, you're going to be getting 60 or 100 or something on Betfair. Yeah. They're the ones to lump on them. If you're worried about getting match, you're leaving it late, etc., then if you can get a good price off the bookies, or you can get an early price, which is the holy grail, you can get 4 to 1 about a dog you think could be 2 to 1, then you should bet with the bookies. Don't wait for Betfair.
I tried to back a dog last week. I won't say the name of the firm, Corals, right? And I asked for a 110 to 40, and they said you can have £39.25 on. I mean, what the fuck is that all about? For the sake of another £1.80, you know what I mean? I know it's all done automatically, but that is embarrassing, isn't it?
John Ramsey, not enough liquidity on machine to trade dogs, and I think that's fair as well. Richard Howard, 27-29 winning time at Henlow from 6 would have been 11 times years ago. No idea if that's top notch these days, though. Over to Watty on that.
It was a very fast time, but what you have to take in the hand, it was a -70 going, so it only done 27.99. So you have to take that they're doing the going allowance correctly. I don't do Henlow now, but it was -70, so that sort of makes you take with a bit of a pinch of salt in it.
This is coming back in again now, Kilshannon King. We got 4s, did we, Tom?
We did.
Just need to get a break and get in a race, really.
If he clears the inside too, he's a runner, isn't he?
Yeah.
And the key to that's how the red starts.
Yeah. Actually, do you know what? The key to the race might be our 3 starts to get rid of red, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, get across it.
If 3 bangs and claims a rails, then it's going to put one in a world of pain.
Yeah, 1 turns right, 3 turns left.
Yeah.
Give 4 all the room in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He just needed a sensible break out of 4, get in the race, because he will run the bends to die for, Kilshannock King.
Yeah, he's running well now.
Harry's on the move.
Go on then, Matt, give us a commentary.
Dogs lined up ready. Hare's on its way around, and they're off. We're up to the first bend. 1 leads, followed by the 3. The 5's got itself in a position. 4's stuck on the rail. 4's got badly hampered. 1's 3 lengths clear from the 6. 6 is closing up on the 1 a little bit, followed by the 5, and the 4's behind. So 1 by about 2 lengths coming around the last bend. It looks like 1's got this in the bag. 1 from 6, followed by the 5. Just didn't get a run with the 4.
No, 1 crashed, didn't it?
Yeah, did say it's capable of it. It's a cracking dog.
Yeah.
It was a tough race. If it wasn't for the addition of Stella,
It's amazing to
probably
think how
wouldn't
many
have
times
that.
you thought, like, when you look where it's gone, you know, so you're right, it doesn't want to be in one.
No,
But
smashed.
it is, like you say, best dog around Pelon. Pelon's a tough track, and some of the times it's done around there regular. But like you said, Peel, it's normally out of 4 or 5, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
but it was in the wrong,
you
know it was in the wrong draw, because you just see where it is on the run and everything, but to be fair to it, it's gone bingo, and fair play to him, travelling all the way down and winning the race.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I sense suppressed rage. Yeah, I think that's a fair description.
No,
It's not on the
I
journey
don't
home
think,
when you've
I don't think
won the
anyone's
race.
surprised that he's a good enough dog to win the race. It was just
No,
from
I would agree
from
with
the
that.
draw. When you
Well,
smash,
if you spin 1 and 3
you
round,
eradicate the draw.
if you spin the draw around 1 and 3, you'd have made that a massive runner.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's in the right draw sort of thing.
You'd expect him to trap clean out of 3, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but most of my bets are based on dogs running in a straight line, and that's the one little quirk that you've got with open racing, in that, like that, he doesn't want to be drawn 5, so they're seeding rails, and he gets 1, and he don't want to be 1 either. But obviously, from that point of view, he's much better trapping 1 than he is in 5. So
it's just like you say. If you'd have been a 6 dog race and you had trap 2 there and that come away, you wouldn't be very happy, would you?
No.
You know, it could be a dog you've travelled a long way and you end up getting mullered at the start.
Yeah.
But do you allow people to put dogs in the wrong with the wrong seed, don't they?
That's
fair play, like you say, well done them travelling all the way from down over here and north of me even.
I've just watched the replay of that. The 5's cut in and gone towards the rail as well.
Yeah, he does. He does. Yeah.
Yeah, I had him in lane 3, going across to lane 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you remember the Derby lads, there was a lot of talk about because they do the head on. I did for Nottingham. I did the Derby lanes and all that. You did that. You do the head on. I think actually, I came to the conclusion in the end that the head on at Toaster was it kind of exaggerated the lines they took a little bit. Maybe it was at a different point on the track than it was at Nottingham, but it's kind of it gets you at it a little bit when dogs move off. But I think a lot of dogs do kind of edge off.
Naturally move off.
Yeah. And I got a bit frustrated because they asked me to be on the seeding committee, but I think because they put because a lot of the damage was done, I think at the trials where they probably put middle to rails and rails to middle, and when they probably should have been middle. Do you know what I mean? So you can't really then ask, but. Gary Noble came. I think he was interviewed by Floyd Amphlett, and he started going on and saying that he thought that there should be a scenario where you have an ideal box, and you carry that ideal box with you throughout the draw, and you can kind of shift it off from maybe 2 to 3 or 3 to 2 or whatever. But
I think putting your boxes in order, saying I would prefer 2, then 3, then 1, then 4, then 5 would work really, really well. I don't see any reason not to do it, other than that people doing the draw just can't be fucked.
Yeah, because
don't say that about Lofty.
I'm sure it would work, and it would work much better. And the scenario with that man there, if you said what box would you want, he'd probably say 3. And in that race, he'd have got 3.
And his second choice would be 4.
1, but like Paul said, if you're in 2 and he does that to you, and you get smashed at the start, you're not going to be very happy, and you're going to go, well, I wanted back track 3, but I've got track 1. It's not really his fault. But if he said, if you said his ideal box and put a gun to his head, he'd say 3.
Yeah, 3 or 4. Yeah, without doubt. Yeah.
So dogs will get drawn
It happens all the time,
nearer
doesn't it? It's the
to
problem.
the traps that they want, rather than take potluck with the rails middle and wide. And I know
Yeah.
you take it to an extreme to a certain extent, but you're still going to get, say for instance, I know Dear Jet Sydney, who's desperate for red. There'll be another dog that wants one, but he probably wants 1.5, but he'll still be seeded as a one dog, and Dear Jet Sydney might get 2. Well, it's not the end of the world. It's when they get 4.
Yeah.
When you've got dogs that want to be in trap 4 in 1.
Yeah, and then they go carving across each other and ruin the race. Yeah.
So you just
it's a welfare issue again, isn't it? If you want to believe it,
it is a welfare issue. This tactical seeding is
of course
a big problem. I mean, some people say, well, it's the luck of the draw, it's this and this, but you've got a dog that's a Derby hope, and you'll get annihilated by a dog that should be in 4 that's in 1. It's not a nice feeling. I think. No. I think that's one area where racing managers need to stand up and be strong.
Yeah, and be a bit braver, yeah, and tell people they can't. No, you're a middle runner. You're not getting a real seed.
Yeah, definitely.
This has done me a few favours the last few weeks. The 6 dog here, she got nice early.
In Central Park.
Yeah.
You played
3-1, just a little bit. But
now you tell us.
Yeah, suspended.
Yeah, no, but it's not a. It's up in. It's a harder A4 than what she's been running.
Well, look, I'm going to cheer it on for you, all right?
Yeah. Needs to go bingo.
Got to lead?
Oh, yeah.
Smash!
Nah, she can't. Well, shouldn't chop that off. She can't win. That's a dog they had the money on 5 as well. That's why I don't normally bet at Central Park.
On a lovely bend.
No trap 6s this evening at either track.
It's got speed on the straight, Paul. Actually, that one will be up the second bend, isn't it? 6.
Tell you, say that to lead to win. Million, it didn't lead. Try and bet I thought they would actually not leading.
In fairness, it's run well.
It's run strong. Yeah, it's run really well.
Give you the week Mark, when it won.
Yeah, fair play. Yeah.
No, when it won the year 5, or first time over, or second time over 4 bends, sent you it, and me and you backed it.
I remember, yeah. Yeah.
Well, a lot easier race than that, though.
Matt Smith, love this by far better than RPG
TV. Raider, though, didn't you? That was the thing.
It's family's level now, I think. So.
Any chance of doing one of these for track you guys focus on?
Still over at me betting it. Sorry, Tom.
Comment there from Matt Smith. Love this by far better. Any chance doing one of these on a track you guys focus on in more detail future, like Donny for Paul? Would you be up for that, Paul?
Yeah, I must admit, there's a couple of lads that I know Craig really well. Craig goes on Racing Post TV, but Dave Johnson as well. I think Dave Johnson comes across really well. He knows his stuff. So yeah, that would be perfect.
Yeah, they are. Craig's good. Dave's good. Howard's good. You could get enough Donny experts, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's on a couple of times a week as well, and it's Monday night and Wednesday night.
No, we'll definitely have a go at that.
Yeah.
Can we have some subtitles, little bald fella, please? And a cushion. You know what? I did email out instructions for this, saying try and make sure we're all roughly the same size on the screen. But Watty just does what he wants.
Making it easy.
You should put it on some books. I haven't got no books, right? It's on top of a laptop case to make it higher. And I thought, fucking hell, I look like a midget here. So I took the laptop case away, and I looked even smaller. So what the fuck are you going to do?
Not for the first time. You've overestimated what 6 inches is.
That's fair enough. But it doesn't get used anyhow, so it doesn't mean that.
Stephen Potter, what a great show, lads. PL Voice should be getting paid millions for that. Jed's Voice 2128. Lovely spot of value. All the best, chaps. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
Just
Steve.
more abuse for Watty, which I will gladly put up. Oompa Loompa. Yeah.
What?
Called you an Oompa Loompa. A lot of people calling you Ray Bourne tonight, but
rave on. The louder you scream, the faster the ride.
Nathan Cuff, when is the next show on? Either next week or the week after. We will post it on the Twitter at GWatchalong.
Depends how popular it gets, Tom, innit?
Yeah. Or
100 people tonight.
Lads, great show. I've met you all bar Paul, but speak to him on Twitter. Good crack, spelling passes.
What?
Could see something different to rekindle interest. Thank you very much for watching. We've had a good core of viewers tonight.
Bunch
The
of
worst
bastards.
thing is when you get graded dogs off the track filling boxes and they put them in any trap. Often see dogs at a middle put in one in opens. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Is it's
Yeah.
just to make a race up, and they just erroneously seed dogs. There's no excuse for that, really, is there? If you know how to grade them, put them in the right box in a grade race, you should know how to put them in the right box for an open one.
I think that was made no fucking
actually,
difference.
Matt said that earlier on. It's about the race manager being strong, isn't it? It's about
Yeah.
him saying, "Well, look, you know."
Yeah. Grow up here.
Okay, right. We've got a good race here. What do we
I think
fancy?
The red's too skinny now, 47.
What would you back it at?
It's evens
5
on the
to
machine.
4.
It's 11-10 on the machine.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's not a bad price. I think five was 11 to 2 earlier. And the one time
it's 11 to 10. They've tempted us in again. We're going to have to take that, aren't we? Going to have to take that. Oh, God, quick. I hate having to tap it. We're on, lads. We're on. Whew, whew. After 6 pints of Stella, this is not getting any easier.
Tell you what, Tom, drinking, it's not for everyone, you know.
Haven't had any dinner.
Oh, I still got a pizza.
So
I got a strange order, mate. I got tandoori chicken wings, onion bhajis, and a hot shot pizza. But I didn't eat the one. That'll do for breakfast. The onion bhaji and the tandoori chicken wings.
Did you say you fancy Longvale Jim here, Paul?
I thought they ran really well when it won the 400.
Yeah.
And it was very strong to the drop.
I put here, ran well here, 400, last time. Yeah.
And if the red, because I mean, they've done the right thing, like we said earlier, that the red had a trial over them boxes. But I mean, out of Samiri, you would think it would stay, but they don't always hit it from trap one, do they? In them 575s.
No.
But it was 11 to 2 earlier.
Two slow away. 3 ain't got a lot of speed.
Yeah.
4,
3 went the bend again in its last 575 there. Well, it was going around second, and then it got done for middle to the third bend and got flattered.
It just looks a bit. I mean, watch it at Yarmouth. It just looks, looks a bit one pace, really. But I suppose better suited to this trip. But not. I don't think it was class. I made her a big.
I agree with that. Yeah. I just saw like 5 when it was 11 to 2. 5 was worth a bet, but I'm not sure it's worth when it's 4.5.
One is a class dog, and a class dog is a class dog. You know, it's beaten Forest Gold in the second round of the Derby.
Still got to stay, Tom. I think this will be different though, because I can see Bandicoot. Sammy ran at Sheffield from track 1 and probably moved into lane 1.5. So it's not. I don't think it's going to move off violently. Too slow away anyway. I think it'll have plenty of room. As long as he breaks, I think he'll go clear, and he should have.
There was a big sort of argument, wasn't it, on Twitter when it got put in trap 1 at Sheffield, because hadn't it been running from 6?
Yes, but he did move across from 6, so
he went across, and then they put him in 1. He went up to 1 as well, so
he's probably better out of 3. Do you know what I mean? That's probably
it's another one like the last winner, isn't he? He's probably better from a middle box,
yeah.
But he didn't do anything wrong at Sheffield out of trap 1. He still won the race. So
no, I agree with you there. I'd say I think he'll stay fairly straight, and I like the fact that he's come from the 225.
Yeah, straight way of doing it. His last run was out there, but the right boxes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which is fair play because, like you say, it's a bit of a trek down as well from where he is.
Go wide. Be playing 2 for a forecast here. It's on the drift. 6 to 5, Sammy. You're not tempting me in again, Brez, but no, that's it.
Actually, they were the ones that were biggest Longvale Jim 11 to 2, weren't they?
They take a view. They do take a view.
Yeah.
Ryan 1991, 2 for me here. Massive on the exchange. Even a place 4 to 1. I'll take my chance. What is it? 14.5. 4.9.
Interesting.
Which is fair enough, though, because, like you said, there's a few dogs that don't lead. They're not going to be runners, are they?
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't really work out whether 4 and 6 were really good enough, because I think if they don't, you expect Bandicoot Sammy to lead. So if they get led, what are they going to do?
Strange thing about 6 is it's a massively wide runner. It's 1 from 17 out of trap 6.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense whatsoever.
No.
For me, the only question is if the one stays. I think the one will win this race.
The one's a bit like Smith's Machine. It's different gear. But this was like 480 round Sheffield or something, or 500 even. You'd have your life on it, wouldn't you? You know what I mean, to beat these dogs. But
yeah, I did watch it actually. I think Clever Airmount ran behind when he went out of red. Clever Airmount was in the race, and obviously she's run
decent.
714 at Crayford before, but she was on him between the 2 bends afterwards. So I think it'll stretch him, but I think he'll go so far clear he'll get away with it here.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
Yeah. I can't disagree with that. Like I said, I just thought this morning at the prices 11-2 was big.
No, I don't disagree with that. I made him 9-2, so you ain't nothing.
It's kind of 4-1 now on Betfair. Like.
Yeah. I've saved on 5 by the way. So.
But the other thing with that is with 5 is hasn't been out of the boxes, has it? But I think he's a bit hit and miss anyhow.
Yeah.
But that 400 run, he was impressive, and he went about 6 clear of the drop, so it looked like he did possibly stay. So.
PM, tough race for a threat.
So,
you never know about 6. Good luck. We shall see.
Martin Wiley still.
Go on, the one.
Oh, that's just turn left.
Go on, son.
Go on, Jimbo.
5's got around him.
Go on, Sammy Bryant, the middle.
Long way to go.
Go on, Jimbo.
One off there. 5 is away and gone.
For both unknown, whether either of them will stay.
Go on, Sammy, get inside.
Go on, Sammy. Keep going. You've got to plug on there. He's not staying, is he?
Be a bit worried about the 2 dog.
Who's looming?
Sammy, looming. One's going round.
You know you stay, Sammy.
Does he stay? Of course he stays.
He's run well considering he hasn't led.
That was an emotional roller coaster.
Clark's got him to the front there. Yeah.
I've got to say, I wanted to be on the 5 round the first bend.
Yeah. We ran a good
bend. I bet 5 at big prices and saved mistake on the red, so I thought I was going to do me. I thought I was doing me nuts in when 2 was looming up at the 5th bend because you weren't sure whether 1 and 5 are going to stay with.
No.
But he's run well. He's run well considering he hasn't led.
Yeah, very well. Very well. Where's that?
The guy who had his place back got it up, didn't he, for the 2 dog?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Yeah, well done.
I can't see any eye from Bresbet.
I should have gone in again. They tried to tempt me.
We've got the last race smash out coming up.
They've had plenty tonight. They can't, you know what I mean? They're allowed to get a loser.
That's the dog that Gleeson had in the derby last year, wasn't it? Bandicoot Sammy.
Yeah.
I think he went quite deep, didn't he? We went quarterfinals, did he?
Yeah, he's a nice dog. He's run well there. Like I say, he'd be back next week, won't he, for the Coronation Cup? Probably, no doubt.
Another
North-Eastern winner.
Barney Stain dog. It's forecast.
A couple of winners from the North-East tonight.
Right, so it all comes down to the 942. Let's have a quick look at it. There's only 1 dog in this race for me. What about everyone else?
Yeah, that's the nap, isn't it? And what's our tally?
Minus 90.
What?
All in.
What?
How have we done that?
Tom's pocketed some money there, dirty bastard.
Just wait for Bresbet offering the 5 to 4 and then
That's what we want. That is what we want.
What are we going to have on, Tom?
Few saying great shout with 2 on a place.
Yeah,
it was good shout.
2 got that close. 1 and 5 don't really stay with me. Red got home through class. Completely agree with that. Could not agree with that anymore.
Ran well, 1 considering he didn't lead.
He did run well, yeah.
And he'll come on for the run, won't he? You would think.
Ian Wilburn, can he crack, lads? Let's have more.
Yes, a long way. That's the thing. Nice to see them. Nice to see the Northerners getting some winners. Nice to see the Northerners getting some winners apart from me.
you know what? I won't even read that out. I'll just
you've got to read it out
behind your commentary.
Ian Wilburn, that's the Newcastle man. And yes, he has a retro wardrobe that would give Tanya a run for her money anytime.
I thought I'd put my best jumper on night, cheeky
She
bastard.
can't make cocktails like you, Paul, can she?
Nah, I could not. She would fall off a stool if she's in the studio.
Oh, 5
drinking what
to
I've done.
4. 5 to 4 edition.
5 to 4.
Are we
Yeah.
smashing out?
All
Yeah.
in. All in.
All in.
Yes.
It's the only way to go to last race. What are you going to do? If
Stick
you don't do your
chest
nuts,
out.
you may as well, you know what I mean? There's no
Okay.
point not doing your nuts in, is there?
This is the Naparama, isn't it?
All in looks like £410.
410 at 5 to 4.
If you have to go on a Chevy, what I would advise is not to be sat in Matt's house backing on mules in America. That was an experience.
The best
I
thing
mean,
is we got the winner.
But
Did we not?
we did, yeah. We didn't
Right.
even know that. It was mule racing in America. We thought it was because they were proper jockeys. You thought it was a horse race. It was fucking. It was mules when they they're like, go on. And none of them wanted to run. It was worse than the Arabian, them Arabian horse races where they all go in slow motion. It made them look fast. It was great.
The unbelievable thing is we're 1 from 1 in mule racing. About 8 to 1.
Can't beat a bit of mule racing.
Listen, if you have to go to Delta Downfield or whatever it's called when you're on the chase, it's got to be done.
It's true. I think that's when I fell over the table in your house and nearly broke my leg. And I woke up with a leg that was like.
Is that not the night where you removed the door from the ensuite?
It could have been as well. I'm everyone's perfect guest, mate. Battery is running slow.
Message here, need some blogger type reactions. I've had £100 on it to join the sieve. That's great. Thank you for your support, Ross. I mean that's a hefty punt.
What?
£410 on a dog. Maybe not for the big boys, but
£100 each.
I'm just a working man.
£102.50 each. Tommy can't knock that. That's how you have to look at it.
Thank you very much for Bresbet for laying that. There are not a lot of bookmakers that would have laid that at odds against.
There's very few bookmakers with opinions now, full stop.
2.36 on Betfair.
Is that?
I hope Dave's not having it back on the machine.
Yeah, Shady Dave. So yeah. And the good thing about, I'm not sure the red will come away out the red, but I've said I like about a lot of dogs tonight and being habitually wrong.
Scotty Dog, how did you get the tank? Bresbet putting money up or you chipped in? It is my own money.
Right. Droopy's edition is 5 from 6 out of trap 2.
Yeah.
So that has to be a bonus. And I'm not sure a Drum Do It Bomber wants to be out of trap 1. So,
I mean, Droopy's edition, what a dog to own.
Oh, it's been fantastic, hasn't it? Yeah.
Peter Claxon.
Yeah, Droopy's edition, 59 races, wins, 28 seconds to its name. Unbelievable.
Patsy
Very
Kimsack used to train dogs for Peter Claxon.
Yes.
Yeah. Lorraine said yeah.
But
A few fancying Lunar Prince. Agree about Lunar Prince. Nice breeding. Droopy's Vary and Ballymac runs Romford well. Trap 6 of Droopy's Sydney.
Yeah.
A threat youth on its side.
On his back form, he had a 35-11 run around there, but he's been off. Might need to run. Is what my comment was.
We don't need that negativity.
I'm only telling you the truth, what I'm saying. Doris Jet's been running really, really well around Hove.
Yeah, he has.
I just think he's got a tough draw as he's drawn, but he's a nice dog.
There's some good dogs in this race, isn't there?
Yeah, it's a good race, yeah. We did well. I thought they might have put more 5.75s on tonight, with it being the competition starting next week, but hey ho, you have to have your couple of graded races, I suppose. But if you don't get the entries as well, isn't it?
I hope he's not a bad kennel of Droopy's edition.
Don't fall.
He's won plenty out the last race. Don't worry about that.
What about if you're Jimmy Reynolds when you got one runner you're in the last race?
Yeah, that's an absolute pain in the ass, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's what I know Darren took some up one time. He had one in the second race and the other one in the last race. And it's like 2.5 hours or whatever to get there. And it's like, well, could they not sort of switch it round and think, yeah, you can have your switch the races round and look at the trainers who were travelling and go, well, you know, and if you're a local trainer or whatever, a graded trainer, fair enough, you have any dogs later on if you've got a few runners. But if you're travelling up there with 1 or 2 dogs and you put one in the first race and one in the last race, it's just, for me, it's just a piss take. But that's just my opinion.
Someone said on Twitter, just said that to Stephen Potter. It reminds me of what it was like 5 years ago when it was select and not diluted. No PC brigade to please. Keep it up, chaps. Tom, get more people from the South, though, as we can't understand this mob.
It's after tonight, it's probably for the best.
Oh dear. Spencer Sabaton just said, PL, how many you had? 5, I think. Oh, I'm on the 5th one.
Quiet night then, PL.
Pardon?
Quiet night.
Yeah, actually, it might be 6.
He's showing his
6. Sorry, 6. Yeah, 6.
Showing his true professionalism.
Yeah.
Well
did
done.
you say you were on 6, Tom?
He's gone deaf. I muted
You're
yourself,
mute.
look.
You're muted.
Yeah.
He's having a slurp up. Look.
Yeah, he's had too much to drink. He's now doesn't know how to unmute yourself, look.
Hey, I'm back. I'm still a model professional.
As I'm saying, as myself as well.
No, I've lumped the 2.
I just went to get the last one actually from the fridge, and my missus, I put you on mute, and my missus said, "You're enjoying yourself, aren't you?"
There's a lot to be said for just watching racing with the lads and having a laugh and having a bet. This is what the sport is all about.
She let me do it in my own front room. She wouldn't let me go out the pub and do it though.
The trips to Ireland, I've got to say, are one of the best bits of owning dogs. We've had some absolutely cracking nights in Dublin and Kilkenny and Clonmel and all over.
Yeah. And what was it like to have a Derby finalist, Tom?
It was bizarre. It was absolutely
It was your
bizarre.
first time, wasn't it? Was it your first time?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I understood the magnitude of the occasion. What I didn't appreciate at the time was how difficult it is to get a dog to the final of a competition like that. It just seemed like, well, you chuck a few grand in and the dog's got a bit of form and easy as that, really. But yeah, it was unreal, absolutely unreal.
And then after that, you obviously won the big father. Hello, I think you hold him.
Few oys, yeah.
With
Good
the
YouTube video. I don't think that's on YouTube. I would have put it up otherwise.
Oh, it's on YouTube. It's still on YouTube. Yeah. They've never played. I noticed when they played it on RPG TV, they didn't have the sound turned up, and I have no idea why.
Is it definitely on YouTube?
Yeah. I put it on YouTube. Matt's put it on YouTube.
I'll see if I can find it.
Oh, it's definitely on there. Yeah, I retweet it every now and again to cheer myself up.
Yes,
just the 11.5 lengths.
And then the comments, when you look at the comments where it says like crowded and whatever, it was a clean run race and he just absolutely destroyed him. And you had that flying bitch Slippy Maggie in it, and you had the dog, the Bruiser's dog, that got the final of the Derby, and then he won all the sixpence. And so it was a cracking. He'd done the track record calculator, didn't he? You know, it was just like so sickening that, as always, you're the fastest one to get injured or whatever. Yeah. But it was still a cracking day though, and a cracking roar up.
I really like Henlow for a day out. It's not the nicest track, but it's not nice facilities, but it's friendly. There's a good bar.
Yeah.
Cheap. Everyone's really nice. You can go up to the fence at the end and see your dog at the end of the race, and it's one of my favourite tracks to go to.
Yeah.
I think when you could get an early bet on it was a phenomenal track to punt as well.
When it was just Thursdays, Sundays, it was like almost that would have been my retirement fund if it stayed like that.
Yeah.
And they lay a bet at the track as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Bunny would lay a bet. Bunny bookmaker, he'd lay a bet there. Yeah. We landed a few bets there over the years.
Well, Fight the Power started day 7. When I went to Newcastle when he was with Darren, when he was in the Northern Puppy Derby, he ran Fight the Power, and the locals were like, "Well, A7 dog Henlow, you know why is this like 5-2 or whatever, and he won. And then Slide Away was 8, I think, had won a race at Henlow, and he won, and winning like from going A7, A8 Henlow to winning open races at Newcastle. There's not many do that, I don't think.
No. What was the dog of Darren's that won an A7 on the Tuesday?
Calico. Was that the
And
bitch at Perry Bar?
Yeah, and then on the Monday it won an open at Nottingham.
Was it Calico?
Tiny?
It wasn't Tiny, was it? It was the fawn bitch, wasn't it? Yeah.
Right, we're all in. We're all in.
Come on then, Droopies.
Can we have a PL commentary to finish the
Right,
night?
then one last commentary for the lucky last, the 9:42. We're all in on this then, Droopies edition. Come on, lads. We want to see
Bingo
Bloom.
break, please.
Approach it.
Oh.
And they're off and running. And 2 has broken.
Yes,
Here,
yes,
edition.
yes.
Will clear the company into the turn. Behind. Trouble there.
Keep pulling.
The neighbours love me.
Behind this
Go
one.
on, you beauty.
But into the 5th turn now, and it's 2 Droopy's edition. They've all gone quiet because they're fed up of cheering. Droopy's edition. Late in the day and up towards the line. Droopy's edition will just about see it out.
It's got beat a length.
Is it beat?
It's got beat. I think it's got beat a length.
I think 2's held on.
Do you? I think 3's won a length.
I'm not even
Grace
calling
fluffing the
another
cheeks
photo.
out. She don't know. She's shaking her head.
I think 3's won a length. What was the
No, it's not won a length. I'll give you that one. It ain't won a length, all right?
Done well. I've been laid off for so long, I know. Oh.
All those people telling us Luna Prince in the last.
Yeah.
Legs took as well.
Oh, he did, and yeah. Drummer caught his back legs.
Whether 3's got up or not, it's run a tremendous race.
And it hasn't run for.
I knew 6 was
So many people have put that up, that Luna Prince.
It hasn't run for ages. That's what put me off it.
It's got chin, doesn't it?
It's won a length, I think.
I had a cheeky £8 in it, actually.
What price is it, Phil? What price is it?
15.
I'll tell you what, it's done some running.
Oh my God, how has that got beaten?
It's done 35-11 before Luna Prince, but like I said, what put me off is it hasn't run for so long. Yeah, it's
won half a length, I think.
That's what I said, it's won a length.
It's not won a length.
Half.
It's one, though, you're right. It is.
It's won far enough.
Pass the line, though. Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
I don't know why it's kicked off the stream, but it must be for our own safety. What can you say?
Don't know.
Unbelievable.
I didn't think he'd get beat, but Luna Prince has run well. It's run well. And got dragged back as well around the first 2 bends.
Yeah. That is a bad beat.
Oh, no.
Well, it's been an emotional evening.
Yeah. Someone said, oh, yeah, Andy, that is from, I think he's abroad now, from Hove. PL should have stopped at 5 beers. Awful call. I think it was me expecting him to win rather than knowing he did. But I still question the full length, getting beat by a full length. I think that'll be a half. But I must admit, I thought we'd held on. No. Anyway, terrible. That actually, that was the same as them lads, Tom, that I showed you that link with the Australians. They had some great crack and everyone enjoyed it and they done their bollocks. So there you go. Scotty dog. Next time, all chip in. Poor Tommy's broken. He's a broken man. Very good. Anyway, Tanya said goodbye now. You're on mute.
There we go. We should be back now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my headset died at the end there, which I think ended it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's been fun.
Yeah, it's been great. Really enjoyed it actually. Ryan just said, "Sorry, you've done your dough," but that's fun.
But this
It's
is
an accurate reflection of what the game is about. Yeah, yeah.
It is. Yeah.
It was fun. I'm glad people enjoyed it anyway. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
I think putting up what you're punting is not an easy thing to do.
No. No, it's not.
And yeah, I don't
maybe sort of developing this, and as much as it's great that you're using Bresbet, maybe you might get more value out of using the exchange. I don't know.
Probably wouldn't have made much difference tonight.
I think because there's some late swings, there's probably a little bit of value. I said there was a couple of races where they swung, and I think where you're making two runners and there's value, you can actually bet one save on the other.
Mm-hmm.
Which we kind of didn't do. And we had a couple of forecasts, it didn't quite go around. Then we didn't have a forecast, and we would have cut. So, yeah, there's I think because of a lot of what I do as well, and a lot of what a lot of people do is very late. Sometimes you have to make a decision. But I think because there's four of you, you've got a good flux of opinion to say, well, yeah, we'll go with this, but we know that's a danger, and maybe just even if you half cover your stake, so you don't lose the whole lot. I don't know, but it's worth looking at. And it was great fun, and like the people say, that is punting. That's punting. That is proper punting. So.
It is. You've been an excellent guest. Thank you very much, Paul. Thanks to Matt and Watty, who I'm sure are watching from afar. It has been good fun. We will go again.
Brilliant. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Tom, mate. Bye.
Night all.